We all know that it's easy to get lost in our own thoughts, whether it's something small, like forgetting where you placed your keys, or something overwhelming, like feeling stuck in life with no clear way forward. But what if the path you're searching for is already beneath your feet, gently waiting for you to notice it? Tonight, in Be Present, the Buddha's love envelops you. We'll explore how awareness and compassion quietly guide us back to ourselves. In today's video, we'll talk about finding calm by returning to the present moment. So let's not waste any time and let's begin. As you settle more deeply into this quiet moment, imagine the world around you softening, as though every sound, every breath, every thought is sinking gently into stillness. The night wraps around you like a calm blanket, warm and steady, encouraging you to drop the weight of your day. Even if your mind is still shifting, even if your body is not yet fully relaxed, there is a sense that something within you is beginning to slow, to tilt toward rest. You are not rushing. You are simply arriving, exactly as you are. Beneath you, a path begins to form. Not one made of stone or dirt, but something softer, something that feels as though it has always been there, patiently waiting for your steps. It doesn't matter how far you've wandered in life, or how many times you've doubted where you're going. This path opens itself the moment you choose to notice it. It hums with a gentle warmth, spreading upward from your feet as if greeting an old friend. You may not see the entire way ahead, but you can feel its presence, steady, supportive, and comforting. The Buddha's love surrounds you here, not as thunderous revelation, but as a quiet glow, like a small candle burning right beside your heart. It's soft, almost shy at first, but unmistakably warm. It doesn't demand anything of you. Not perfection, not clarity, not strength. It simply meets you where you are. You might feel it as a slight tingling in your hands, a warmth behind your chest, or a gentle ease settling into your breath. This presence reminds you that you are never truly walking alone, even if life has felt heavy lately. With each breath, you become more aware of your feet resting on this invisible path. You feel supported, grounded, gently anchored to a place beyond worry or noise. The path doesn't judge the pace of your steps. Whether you move quickly, slowly, or barely at all, it holds firm beneath you. You could stand still for hours, and it would remain patient. You could wander in circles, and it would never turn you away. It exists for you, always. As you take a slow, deliberate step forward in your mind, you notice the world around the path beginning to shift. At first, everything is dim, like early dawn before the light has made up its mind about rising. But gradually, shapes appear, soft outlines of distant trees, faint glimmers of light between branches, the suggestion of an open sky stretching far and wide. It feels as though this space is awakening because you are here. The quiet around you grows richer, deeper, almost like a gentle embrace. Another slow step, and you sense the air changing. It becomes cooler, cleaner, touched by the freshness of nature. There's something soothing about it, as though each breath carries away a sliver of tension. You notice subtle scents drifting through the air, damp earth after rain, distant blossoms, the delicate sweetness of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze. This space welcomes you without question, inviting you to breathe more easily, more naturally. You walk a little further, feeling the path underfoot grow more certain. It curves through the soft, emerging landscape like a ribbon of calm, guiding you without pressure. Your thoughts begin to lighten, floating like small clouds drifting quietly overhead. Even the worries that sat heavily on your shoulders start to soften, losing their sharpness. You don't need to push them away. They simply loosen and drift, as though the very atmosphere encourages them to dissolve. With each step, the glow of the Buddha's love grows more distinct. It's no longer just a warmth. It feels like gentle hands guiding your shoulders, like a presence that keeps you steady, like a quiet voice whispering, "You are safe. You are seen. You are enough." This love does not rise loudly. It rises like the tide, slow, natural, inevitable. You realize that this path beneath your feet is not separate from that love. It is shaped by it, supported by it, illuminated by it. As you continue walking, you notice the trees along the path beginning to take full form. Their leaves shimmer softly in the dim light, as though reflecting your calm back to you. The branches sway in slow motion, creating a rhythm that matches your breath. You feel the path carrying you toward a more open space ahead, something gently calling you forward with its quiet glow. You don't hurry. You don't resist. You simply follow the gentle pull, knowing that wherever this path leads, it will hold you with the same steady comfort you feel now. And just beyond the trees, you begin to sense a clearing forming, an open area of soft light that promises deeper peace, deeper quiet, deeper rest. With one last slow breath, you walk toward that soft light as the path expands before you, guiding you into the serene forest that awaits in the next chapter. As you step forward, the soft light ahead widens, revealing the edge of a forest that seems to glow with its own gentle life. The air here feels different, cooler, purer, almost expectant, as though the world itself has paused to welcome you. The trees rise tall and graceful, their silhouettes outlined in a faint, warm radiance that makes them appear almost luminous. They sway slowly, not from any rushing wind, but from a calm rhythm that feels deeply familiar, as if the entire forest is breathing with you. With your next inhale, the leaves seem to flutter inward, as though drawing breath alongside you. And on the exhale, the branches soften outward, releasing any tension you didn't realize you were holding. It feels natural, soothing, effortless, as though you've entered a space that understands you perfectly. Here, everything moves at your pace. The forest offers no demands, no pressure, only quiet companionship. The ground beneath your feet becomes softer, cushioned by moss that feels warm and alive. Each step sinks gently and rises smoothly, supporting your weight with a comforting give. You notice how silence here is not empty but full, rich with delicate sounds that blend into one peaceful tapestry. The faint rustle of leaves brushing together, the distant whisper of branches bending toward one another, the soft murmur of unseen creatures moving calmly through the underbrush. With every breath you take, the forest breathes with you again, its gentle rhythm aligning with your own heartbeat. This harmony creates a sense of belonging so deep you feel it in your chest. Even the air holds you tenderly, brushing your skin like a soft hand guiding you further inward. There is no need to hurry, no place else to be. Only this moment, this breath, this quiet. As you walk deeper into the forest, the Buddha's love begins to feel closer, woven into the space around you. It drifts through the air as a comforting warmth, subtle yet undeniable. It doesn't push or pull. It simply rests beside you like a silent companion. You feel it in the way your shoulders loosen, the way your thoughts soften, the way your breath becomes slower and more natural. In the dim light between the trees, you catch glimpses of small, delicate movements, leaves shimmering like tiny lanterns, tiny particles of golden dust floating lazily through the air. Each one seems to glow with its own gentle warmth. When one drifts close enough to touch your skin, it melts into a soft pulse of comfort. It feels like the forest is greeting you, recognizing your presence with kindness. The scent of the air deepens as you move further along the winding path. You notice hints of earth, warmed by hidden sunlight, the sweet freshness of growing leaves, and the faint aroma of distant blossoms drifting through the branches. The forest seems to respond to your attention. When you notice its scents, the fragrances grow richer. When you listen carefully, the sounds feel more intimate. And when you breathe deeply, the forest breathes with you still, slow, peaceful, steady. Up ahead, the trees grow a little taller, arching over the path, as though forming a natural cathedral. Their branches meet gently above your head, creating a canopy that filters the faint light into soft beams that glow pale gold. As you pass beneath this archway, you feel the air shift again, slower, deeper, almost sacred. It's as if the forest is inviting you into its heart. The rhythm of the forest becomes clearer now, not just in the movement of leaves, but in an almost imperceptible pulse that seems to rise from the earth itself. It surrounds you, embraces you, guides you into a stillness you didn't know you were capable of. Your breath becomes effortless, your steps quiet and smooth, your thoughts like drifting petals. Occasionally you pause to listen, to feel, to simply be, and each time you do, the forest responds by settling even more deeply around you, like a friend coming to sit by your side. There is no rush, no expectation, only presence, only warmth. As you continue along the path, the trees begin to thin slightly, allowing more light to gather ahead. You sense the forest opening into a small clearing, not bright or overwhelming, but softly illuminated, like a sanctuary etched from pure calm. You walk toward it gently, feeling the Buddha's loving awareness growing stronger, surrounding you with a sense of peace that reaches into every corner of your being. The forest continues to breathe with you as you approach the clearing, guiding you forward with its gentle rhythm. Inhale, exhale, step, rest. Soon, you will enter the quiet glow waiting just ahead, where the light deepens into something even more soothing, even more serene. And with your next slow breath, you move toward that soft clearing of light, feeling the world welcome you deeper into the peace that awaits. As you move through the last gentle curve of the forest path, the trees begin to open, their trunks giving way to a soft expanse of warm, luminous air. The forest's breathing slows around you, as though guiding you into a place where even the wind chooses to rest. A gentle hush settles over everything. You step forward, and the clearing reveals itself like a secret held tenderly by the earth. The light here is unlike anything you've seen. It isn't bright or sharp. It doesn't demand your attention. Instead, it glows, softly, like warm gold drifting in the air. It feels alive, yet gentle, as if it has been waiting patiently for you. This light touches your skin with a warmth that sinks deeply, soothing you in places even your thoughts cannot reach. It feels like a kind hand resting over your heart, steady, compassionate, without asking for anything in return. You pause at the edge of the clearing, letting the warmth wash over you. There is no rush to enter. The clearing seems to understand that arrival is a process, not a step. The golden air swirls subtly, as though greeting you, welcoming you with the quiet tenderness of an old friend. When you're ready, your feet carry you forward, and the soft ground beneath shifts comfortably, supporting you with a gentle firmness. At the center of the clearing, a slightly brighter pool of golden light waits like a peaceful resting place. It feels like a cushion made of pure warmth, inviting you to simply exist, not to think, not to evaluate, not to improve, just to be. You step into it slowly, and the moment you do, A deep ease pours through your chest, loosening everything that was once tight or guarded. The Buddha's love wraps around you through the light, subtle yet unmistakably present. It doesn't come as words or visions, but as a soft, tender knowing that you are safe, that you are cared for, that you are seen exactly as you are, and still completely embraced. The warmth around you strengthens, but never overwhelms. It rests over your shoulders, like a shawl woven from compassion. You settle down into the soft moss beneath you. It feels warm from the golden glow above, almost like sitting on a cushion, warmed by morning sunlight. The ground supports you effortlessly, and your body sinks into a deeper sense of peace. Your breath slows, guided by the calm rhythm of the clearing itself. Inhale, soft and full. Exhale, easy and releasing. With each breath, a little more of your weight melts into comfort. As you look around, you begin to notice tiny particles of golden dust drifting lazily through the air, swirling in patterns that feel almost alive. They move like glowing fireflies, but without flickering, each one steady, constant, filled with quiet purpose. They never rush, never collide, never falter. They seem to glow brighter whenever your breath deepens, as though responding to your presence. A soft warmth spreads through your hands, then your arms, then your chest. It travels slowly, like warm tea flowing through your veins, loosening every knot of tension. Thoughts drift into the light and dissolve, not because you force them away, but because they no longer have anything to cling to. The warmth smooths the edges of worry until they disappear, leaving only gentle clarity behind. Here in the clearing, you feel timeless, not stuck, not suspended, but held in a moment that stretches comfortably around you. The light teaches you, without words, that rest is not something you must earn. Peace is not something you must chase. They arrive naturally when you stop running from yourself, when you sit gently in your own presence. The warm, golden glow deepens, like a soft sunset lingering before nightfall. You notice how the trees around the clearing seem to lean slightly inward, their leaves reflecting the light in shimmering ripples, as though bowing in reverence to the stillness here. Even the air vibrates with a faint hum, a gentle resonance that feels like the heartbeat of the forest itself. Your breath continues to soften, and the world grows quieter still. You begin to sense something subtle at the far edge of the clearing. A faint sound, low and soothing, like the beginning of flowing water. It blends with the hum of the golden air, creating a peaceful harmony. The sound is easy to follow, gentle enough to make your heart feel lighter, yet steady enough to draw your curiosity forward. The clearing holds you for one more slow breath, its warmth soaking into every corner of your being. You rise softly, as though lifted by the golden air itself. The glow stays close, lingering on, your skin like a gentle promise that it will remain with you. The quiet sound of water grows a little clearer, inviting you onward with its soothing rhythm. You take one last look at the clearing, its soft light, its tender warmth, its unspoken embrace, and with a calm heart, you step toward the direction of the sound, ready to follow it into the peaceful place waiting just beyond the trees. As you follow the gentle call of the sound, the trees thin once more, giving way to a softer light that stretches out before you. The air cools as you approach, and the distant hum becomes clearer, steady, soothing, like a voice made of water. You step lightly across a patch of smooth earth, and there it is, a stream, winding calmly through the forest as though it has known this path since the beginning of time. The water moves slowly, its surface gleaming with reflections of pale gold from the clearing behind you. It doesn't rush, doesn't push, doesn't struggle. It simply flows, following the earth's natural curve without resistance. Standing at its edge, you can feel its calm reaching toward you, brushing against your thoughts like a gentle hand. The sound of the stream is peaceful, a soft murmur that settles into your chest and makes your breath deepen without effort. You kneel beside the smooth bank, feeling the coolness rising from the water. When you lean closer, you can see the world reflected in its surface, not with harsh clarity, but with a soft, dreamlike shimmer. The trees, the sky, even your own outline appear blurred, peaceful, and quiet. It's as though the stream transforms everything it touches, making the sharp edges gentle and the heavy things light. The Buddha's love feels close here, woven softly into the current. It's not something you hear or see, but something you feel in the way the water moves. Each ripple seems to whisper a promise that you don't have to hold everything by yourself, that some things can be set down, that some burdens float better than you think. You extend your hand toward the water. The moment your fingertips touch the surface, a cool warmth spreads across your skin, an impossible yet comforting sensation. The water feels alive, aware, almost as though it recognizes you. It welcomes you without condition, without expectation, with the same gentle acceptance you've been feeling on the path. This stream, you realize, is a place for release. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to it. The soft trickling, the gentle bubbling, the quiet lap of water against smooth stones. Every sound feels like a breath of relief, a small sigh of peace. You feel something within you loosen, as though the stream has already begun to carry away a weight you didn't even fully recognize. In your mind, imagine gathering one of your worries, something small or something heavy, something recent or something that has followed you for years. Feel its presence in your hands, as though you're shaping it from mist. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just let this worry take a form you can acknowledge. When you're ready, place it into the stream. The moment it touches the water, the worry dissolves, not dramatically, but gently, like a petal melting into sunlight. The current carries the remains forward, further and further, until they blend into the stream's natural rhythm. There is no resistance, no judgment. The worry simply joins the flow, becoming something softer, lighter, transformed by the water's calm. You breathe in deeply, feeling the relief ripple through your chest. Then, with another slow breath, you gather another worry. Perhaps it's a doubt about the future, or a memory that still echoes, or a fear that shows up in quiet moments. Whatever shape it takes, let it rest in your palms for a heartbeat. Then lower it into the cool, waiting water. Again the stream accepts it. Again it dissolves effortlessly. Again the current carries it away, farther and farther, until you can no longer sense any trace of it. The Buddha's compassion surrounds you here, settling on your shoulders like soft warmth. It doesn't erase your feelings. It gently reminds you that they don't have to weigh so heavily. That release is not forgetting, but transforming. That letting go is not failure, but freedom. You sit quietly for a moment, watching the water move. The stream glistens under the gentle light filtering through the trees, its surface catching sparkles of gold and silver. Small leaves drift along its path, carried toward distant places you cannot see. The world feels wider here, more forgiving. As you breathe in the damp, earthy scent of the water, you notice something shifting in the air. The sound of the stream grows softer, warmer, almost melodic. The water begins to widen slightly, its edges curving gently into a broader pool. The forest around you opens once more, and in the distance, you see a faint pink glow, soft, serene, and strangely inviting. The stream is leading you somewhere. You rise slowly, brushing your fingertips across the water one last time. Its cool touch lingers on your skin like a blessing. The gentle pink glow ahead grows stronger, shimmering through the trees like early dawn. You follow the curve of the stream as its waters widen, its glow deepening, guiding you toward a place of even greater peace. A quiet pond where lotus flowers wait in stillness, ready to open their petals to you. Following the gentle widening of the stream, you step through a veil of soft pink glow, and the forest opens into a quiet sanctuary. A pond so still, so serene, that it looks like a mirror, placed gently upon the earth. The water stretches out before you in a perfect calm, untouched by wind or ripple until your presence stirs the air around it. The moment your eyes meet the surface, an unexplainable peace settles into your chest, warm and slow, like a deep sigh finally released. Lotus flowers float gracefully across the pond, their petals glowing softly with shades of pale pink, creamy white, and gentle lavender. They drift without movement, as if held in place by the very breath of the world. Each lotus seems to shine with a quiet inner light, not bright enough to dazzle, but strong enough to reassure. You feel drawn to them, not out of curiosity alone, but because each flower feels like a reflection of something inside you, something pure, calm, and unbroken. You step closer to the edge of the pond. The ground beneath your feet shifts from moss to smooth, warmed stone. The stones feel almost alive, as though they have absorbed centuries of gentle sunlight and are offering it back to you in the form of delicate warmth. The pond's stillness welcomes you, inviting you to rest your gaze upon its calm surface. When you do, you notice your reflections slowly forming, not sharp, not defined, but soft and peaceful, like the beginning of a dream. The Buddha's love radiates gently through this place. You feel it in the softness of the air, in the glow of the lotus petals, in the warmth rising from the stones. It moves not as a force, but as a presence, subtle, kind, and constant. You sense that this pond has held the quiet hearts of many before you, offering them the same stillness it now offers you. You sit at the edge of the water, letting your legs settle comfortably beneath you. The pond is close enough that you can reach out and touch it if you wish, but you don't need to. Its calm settles into your body, without a single ripple. For a long moment you breathe, slow, full, natural. With each inhale, the scent of lotus drifts gently toward you, faint and sweet, like a whisper of reassurance. With each exhale, tension leaves your body, as though carried away by invisible hands. As your breath deepens, you notice something quiet but profound. The pond is not empty. Though it is still, it is filled with life. Tiny glimmers, soft, subtle, move beneath the surface like threads of light drifting in slow, deliberate patterns. They illuminate the water not in a show of brilliance, but in a demonstration of gentle existence. Stillness here is not a void. It is a living presence. A soft breeze begins to move around you, gentle enough that the lotus flowers only sway the tiniest bit, like a slow nod of acknowledgement. The petals flutter in the faint wind, releasing the most delicate shimmer of light across the pond. For a moment, the surface looks sprinkled with stars, each one floating just beneath your fingertips. Above you, the sky transitions subtly. The warm glow that led you here dims into early evening hues, soft blues, muted purples, and a hint of deepening night. As you look up, a slender crescent moon appears, its pale silver arc reflected perfectly in the water below. The moonlight touches the pond with a luminous calm, deepening the peaceful atmosphere that already surrounds you. You feel as though you are breathing with the world itself. The calm expands through your body, traveling from your chest to your shoulders, then down your arms, settling into your hands. It moves down your spine, easing the muscles that have held too much for too long. Even your forehead softens, and the space behind your eyes feels lighter, clearer, freer. Sitting by the lotus pond, you realize that this place is not here to erase your thoughts or silence your feelings. Instead, it shows you that stillness can hold them without fear. That peace does not mean emptiness. It means space. Space for breath. Space for rest. Space for being exactly who you are in this moment. You notice the lotus nearest you begins to open its petals slightly wider, as though revealing its heart. A gentle golden glow seeps out from its center, spreading across the water in soft ripples that you can see but cannot feel. The glow reaches your hands, warming your palms, reminding you of the gentle presence that has been guiding you all along. In the distance, the faint trickle of water continues from the stream you followed earlier, blending with the quiet breath of evening. The pond's calm stretches outward, drawing your attention toward a subtle pathway lined with smooth stones. The moonlight gathers along that path, forming a soft, silver guide leading deeper into the night's embrace. With one more deep, peaceful breath, you rise from the pond's edge. The lotus flowers seem to brighten slightly as you step away, as if offering a final blessing of calm. Ahead, under the growing moonlight, the forest gently opens once more, revealing the next quiet place waiting for you. You take a slow step toward it, carrying the stillness of the lotus pond with you, letting its quiet hearts guide you into the next stretch of your peaceful journey. As you step away from the lotus pond, the faint shimmer of its petals lingers in your vision, like soft light that has woven itself gently into your breath. The night deepens around you in the most comforting way. Not darker, but quieter, calmer, more spacious. The silver glow of the crescent moon grows stronger above the treetops, guiding you toward a new opening just ahead. The air cools, brushing softly against your skin, inviting you into a deeper layer of peace. You follow the smooth stone path as it curves gently through the trees. Each stone gleams faintly under the moonlight, as though the night itself has placed tiny reflections there to light your way. The forest that surrounds you feels slower now, its breathing softer, as though entering a restful slumber. Even the leaves seem to hush themselves, their gentle rustling growing lighter and lighter until only a quiet whisper remains. Soon, the trees begin to part once more, revealing a second body of water, larger than the lotus pond, yet just as still. This lake stretches softly into the distance, its surface so calm that it looks like a sheet of dark glass laid gently across the earth. The moon above reflects perfectly within it, creating two moons, one in the sky, one floating in the quiet depths below. You move closer, feeling the stillness deepen around you. The moonlight spills across the surface in long silver ribbons, widening with each step you take. The reflection seems to glow more brightly the nearer you come, as though recognizing your presence. And when you reach the edge of the lake, a soft calm washes over you. Cool, reassuring, and strangely familiar, like returning to a place you once knew well. Standing there, you feel the Buddha's presence surrounding you in a new way. Not as warmth this time, but as clarity. Gentle, open, spacious clarity. It fills the air with a softness that makes your thoughts feel lighter, as though they too are being illuminated by the moon. The silver glow rests on the surface of the water, and you sense it resting gently on your mind as well, smoothing over the ripples of worry and thought. You kneel by the water's edge, touching the earth with your palms. The ground here is cool, firm, steady. When you look into the lake, you see your reflection shimmering softly, mingling with the moonlight. Your face looks peaceful, softened by the gentle glow, and somehow you sense that the version of you reflected here is free from the heaviness you normally carry, calm, balanced, held by something larger than yourself. The moon's reflection expands, casting its silver light across your thoughts. One by one, the noisy parts of your mind begin to settle. You don't have to force them. You simply notice them softening, dissolving, drifting. Thoughts that once felt heavy begin to float like feathers, and even the ones that linger do so without pulling you away from this moment. The moonlight gives them space, gives you space. Above you, the sky is deepening into a velvet blue. A few stars appear, faint at first, scattered like small sparks across the darkness. Their reflections dot the lake as well, tiny silver flecks that flicker gently with the rise and fall of your breath. As more stars emerge, the water begins to look like an entire sky lying at your feet, a second universe, quiet and endless. You sit back on your heels and lift your gaze upward. The real stars shimmer softly, their light cold but comforting. They feel ancient, patient, watching without expectation or judgment. Their presence reminds you that time stretches far beyond any worry, far beyond any moment of uncertainty. You feel small in the best possible way, small enough that your troubles feel lighter, small enough that the world feels gentle. The lake's surface captures this starlight, doubling the sky. Each star above has a twin below, both glowing quietly in a harmony that feels almost sacred. The moon's reflection drifts between them, serene and steady. The entire scene seems to breathe, the lake rising and falling in tiny movements, the sky expanding and contracting in silence, your chest lifting and lowering with each calm, unhurried breath. As you watch the stars, you notice that their reflections begin to shift slightly, not from wind, but from something subtler. The water seems to shimmer with an inner glow, as though the stars themselves are blending into the lake. The boundaries between sky and water blur, merging into one vast, peaceful canvas. You feel as though you are sitting at the edge of infinity, held in a space that stretches far beyond your imagination. Your breathing deepens naturally. The cool night air fills your lungs, and the quiet releases any lingering tension from your body. Each inhale brings clarity. Each exhale softens the edges of your thoughts. You feel your heartbeat slow, steady, and calm, matching the rhythm of the lake and the sky. The Buddha's compassion rests over this moment, like a gentle veil, subtle yet unmistakably present. It feels like guidance without direction, love without possession, presence without demand, pure, spacious acceptance. As you rise from the water's edge, the starlight continues to shimmer quietly around you. The path ahead begins to glow faintly, offering a way forward through the deepening night. The lake's calm lingers in your chest, and the moon's silver clarity remains in your thoughts. You take a slow, steady step toward the next stretch of your journey, following the quiet pull of the night as it leads you deeper into the peace that waits beyond. As you follow the silver-lit path away from the calm water's edge, the night deepens in a way that feels inviting, rather than dark. The soft glow of moonlight stretches across the ground like a gentle guide, and above you, the sky opens wider with each step you take. The air grows lighter, cooler, carrying with it a faint whisper of movement, almost like the beginning of a tender breeze. You feel it brushing softly against your cheeks, lifting some hidden weight from your chest, as if reminding you that something new is unfolding. The trees begin to thin until the forest pulls back entirely, revealing a wide open space where the horizon stretches without end. Here, the sky appears immense, far larger than you could ever imagine in the shelter of the woods. It arches above you in a vast dome of deep blue, sprinkled with stars that glow gently like lanterns hung by invisible hands. The openness settles into your body as a quiet relief, as though your spirit suddenly has more room to breathe. You take a slow breath, and the sky seems to breathe with you. On your inhale, the stars shimmer just a little brighter, On your exhale, the cool air slips more easily into your lungs, releasing the last bits of tightness held inside. It feels strange, this sense of being completely held by the open sky. Strange yet soothing, as if you have always belonged here. A soft breeze drifts across the clearing, moving with a gentle curiosity, as though testing the air around you. It brushes through your hair, skims your shoulders, and swirls lightly around your hands. It doesn't push or rush. It simply dances around, you, swirling like a gentle question. You lift your face slightly to meet it, and the breeze seems to answer by softening even further, becoming warm with familiarity. When you look up again, the stars remain steady above you. They are not sharp points of light, but soft, glowing breaths in the night. Each one seems to pulse subtly, not quite flickering, but alive in its own small way. As you watch them, you notice something subtle. Each star feels like a thought, hanging quietly in the sky. Some are bright, some faint, some nearly hidden. Yet each one exists peacefully, without judgment, without pressure, without urgency. You realize that the sky does not push the stars away. It does not cling to them. It simply holds them gently, letting them shine or dim as they choose. And as that understanding settles into your chest, you begin to sense the Buddha's presence rising through the silence. Broad, patient, spacious, like the sky itself. A thought drifts through your mind, an echo from earlier in the day, something small yet persistent. But this time, instead of tightening around it, you watch it the way you watch a star. Curious, gentle, without needing to change it. The thought glows softly, harmlessly, suspended in the vastness inside you. And then, without effort, it drifts a little farther away, fading into the horizon of your awareness. Another thought appears, heavier this time, something tangled, something that once felt sharp. Yet here, under the open sky, even that thought softens. You observe it the way the sky holds the moon. Steady, compassionate, without fear. The Buddha's presence feels like a quiet hand resting on your back, encouraging you to watch, not fight, to notice, not cling, to allow, not resist. The breeze circles you again, warmer than before, brushing across your arms as though guiding your awareness outward. You notice how vast the sky is, how expansive the space above and within you feels. For the first time, you understand that your thoughts are not the sky. They are only stars. Small, drifting, temporary. The sky, your awareness, is far larger, far gentler, far quieter. A deep ease spreads through your chest, loosening the spaces around your heart. Your breath grows longer, smoother, as though the sky is breathing through you. Each inhale draws in the cool serenity of the night, while each exhale releases whatever tension still lingers in your muscles. You sit down in the grass, letting the earth support your weight. The blades are soft and cool beneath your palms, bending without resistance. The breeze continues to move around you, brushing over the grass and creating a faint whispering sound, like distant waves washing gently against the shore of night. Above you, the stars shift subtly as the earth moves, creating slow patterns that you can barely perceive. You imagine your thoughts moving the same way, not static, not fixed, but drifting, changing, softening over time. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to push them away. You need only watch them pass across the inner sky of your mind. The Buddha's love expands through the openness, settling around you like an infinite embrace. It feels quiet yet powerful, boundless yet intimate. You sense it in the way the stars glow, in the way the air moves, in the way your thoughts soften without effort. As you lie back gently, letting your body rest fully against the earth, the sky stretches endlessly above you. Its vastness fills your senses, and you feel yourself becoming part of it. Limitless, calm, open. The breeze grows slightly stronger, brushing over you with purpose now, like a gentle invitation to continue forward. You rise slowly, carrying with you the spacious peace of the sky. Ahead, the breeze gathers, creating a soft current of air that leads toward a distant path, lined with tall, whispering grasses. You follow it, letting the open sky walk with you, guiding you toward the next quiet chapter, waiting just beyond the horizon. As you follow the soft path lined with tall grasses, the night sky stretches peacefully above you, its wide embrace still resting gently on your shoulders. The air feels open, generous, quiet, yet something within it begins to shift, becoming more intimate, as though the world around you has leaned in just slightly. A faint breeze stirs, subtle at first, brushing the tips of the grass and sending small ripples through the field. It moves with a kind of delicate purpose, as though it has been waiting for you to notice it. You pause for a moment, letting the breeze touch your skin. It carries the coolness of the night, but beneath that coolness is something warmer, almost familiar. It sweeps along your arms, like gentle fingers, tracing your outline, soft and attentive. You close your eyes and the breeze circles you once, twice, with a tenderness that feels unmistakably intentional. It's as if it recognizes something deep within you. Your presence, your breath, your quiet longing for peace. When you open your eyes again, the breeze responds, as though it felt the movement. It drifts closer, brushing against your cheek with the lightness of a whispered greeting. There is nothing random about it. You sense immediately that this breeze knows you, not your name in words, but your essence, your quiet heart, your silent struggles. It feels like an old friend returning after a long separation, touching you gently as if to say, "I remember you." You breathe in deeply, and the breeze flows into your inhale, filling your lungs with cool, fresh air that feels cleansing. On the exhale, it moves with you again, releasing warmth through your chest, as if helping carry away whatever remains heavy. With each breath, the breeze becomes more aware of your rhythm, syncing with it naturally, as though the two of you are learning each other's patterns. The Buddha's presence blends into the air around you, subtle yet unmistakable. You feel it in the softness of the breeze, in the way it follows your steps, without rushing ahead or falling behind. This wind is not ordinary. It is a messenger of compassion, a gentle reminder that you are known and held even in the quietest corners of your journey. As you continue walking, the breeze guides you forward. It tugs softly at your sleeves, encouraging you along the path, as though leading you somewhere it wants you to see. The grasses sway in unison, creating a gentle rustling sound that harmonizes with each movement of the wind. It feels almost like music, soft, natural, the kind that wraps around you rather than reaching outward. You walk slowly, letting each step sink deeply into the earth. The breeze grows a little stronger, though never forceful. It's as if it's growing excited, eager to show you what lies ahead. You feel it lifting your hair lightly, sweeping over your shoulders, sliding down your back in smooth, comforting moves. Every touch feels purposeful, warm, familiar. It's strange how something as simple as moving air can feel like companionship. But here in this peaceful night, it does. You start to notice the horizon shifting. The grasses grow shorter, and the ground becomes firmer beneath your feet. The breeze nudges you forward, guiding you past the edge of the open field. In the distance, you see the faint shape of rising land, Gentle slopes at first, then more defined, forming the outline of a quiet mountain trail. The path curves upward, framed by stones that glimmer faintly in the moonlight. The breeze presses softly on your back, urging you toward the base of the mountain. Not urgently, but lovingly, like a hand placed with care between your shoulder blades. You step forward, feeling the air around you grow cooler and fresher. The night deepens, and the stars overhead glow brighter, as though watching your ascent with patient interest. At the foot of the mountain, the breeze circles you again, slower this time, as though wrapping itself around you in reassurance. It lingers near your heart, brushing lightly against your chest, almost as if whispering, "You are ready." The presence of the Buddha feels closer than ever now, woven into the very wind that guides you upward. You take a few steps onto the trail, and the world around you quiets even further. The mountain feels ancient and steady beneath your feet. The air becomes clearer with each breath, as though the altitude itself cleanses your thoughts. The breeze moves ahead of you, rising softly up the path, lighting the way with its gentle push and pull. As you climb, you sense that this is not just a path through nature, it is a path into yourself. The breeze continues to know you, matching your breaths, responding to your pace, reminding you that you are not walking alone. Each movement of air feels like a subtle echo of your own inner strength, awakening slowly, naturally. The trail ahead glows faintly with moonlight, curling upward toward a place of deeper calm. You follow the breeze, letting it guide your steps with trust, aware that it carries you not only toward the mountain's heart, but toward the next quiet space, waiting for you on your journey. The breeze that has guided you so gently begins to stretch upward along the rising path, lifting the cool night air toward the quiet silhouette ahead. As you walk, the land beneath your feet grows steadier, firmer, as though each step connects you to something ancient and unmoving. Soon, the terrain flattens just enough for you to see it clearly, the mountain rising before you, tall and peaceful, its presence unwavering beneath the moonlit sky. It doesn't loom, it doesn't dominate. It simply stands, calm, grounded, utterly still. The mountain's slopes rise with a slow, natural grace, shaped not by force but by time, patience, and the quiet strength of the earth. In its presence, you feel something settle deep within you, like a stone finding its rightful place at the bottom of a clear pond. Something in you understands this mountain immediately, without needing words. Here is strength without striving. Here is power without pressure. Here is endurance without effort. You place a hand over your chest, feeling your breath grow heavier, slower, more rooted. The mountain seems to breathe with you, its vast presence echoing through the air in a calm rhythm that makes your thoughts soften into stillness. Even the breeze that has followed you becomes quieter at the base of this great, gentle form, as though paying respect, as though acknowledging that this place is different, sacred in its simplicity. The path ahead is made of smooth stone steps, each one cool beneath your feet and illuminated by faint traces of moonlight resting on their surfaces. There is no rush in their arrangement, no urgency in their climb. They rise with a patient slope that invites you to meet the mountain, not with force, but with ease. You step onto the first stone, feeling its firmness settle beneath you. The moment your foot touches it, a wave of quiet strength rises through your legs, grounding you in a way that feels reassuring and real. Each step upward feels less like an ascent and more like an entering, a gentle movement into a deeper, more stable part of yourself. The mountain holds no expectation. It doesn't want you to prove anything. It doesn't ask for speed, endurance, or achievement. Its stillness speaks clearly. Come as you are. Walk as you can. Rest when you need. I will be here. The Buddha's compassion resonates through the mountain's quiet presence. It flows in the cool air brushing over your skin, in the solid ground beneath you, in the soft moonlight touching the path. This is a love that does not push, it simply supports. A love that does not demand, it welcomes. A love that does not insist, it remains. With every step you take, you feel this love growing stronger, not in intensity, but in its quiet certainty. You feel it spreading across your shoulders like a gentle weight that steadies, rather than burdens. You feel it settling into your spine, aligning your posture not with effort, but with a natural sense of belonging. You feel it calming the inner tremors you sometimes hide from yourself. Halfway up the slope, you pause, not out of fatigue, but instinctively, as though the mountain itself has offered you a moment to reflect, to breathe. You turn slightly, looking back toward the open grassland you came from. The sky stretches wide behind you, stars scattered like soft lanterns. The breeze rises for a moment, touching your cheek and swirling gently around your shoulders, reminding you that it is still with you, still guiding you even now. When you shift your gaze back to the mountain, you notice how its surface seems to glow faintly under the moonlight. The rugged textures, the curves of stone, the small patches of moss, all of it forms a pattern that feels familiar, as though you've seen it before in the quiet corners of your own heart. In this glow, the mountain becomes more than stone. It becomes a teacher of presence, a keeper of patience, a reminder that stillness is not emptiness but strength. You continue climbing, feeling the path grow slightly narrower and more intimate. The air becomes clearer, purer, as though filtered by the mountain itself. Your breath feels smoother here, free of the weight it once carried. Your steps feel easier, even when the slope rises. There is a sense of being supported by something greater than yourself, something ancient and compassionate. As you reach a small landing partway up, the mountain opens into a gentle ledge. From here, the view stretches far across the forest and the grasslands below. The wind rises softly, brushing across your skin in slow, calming arcs. Standing there, you feel the quiet truth the mountain embodies settling into your bones. You do not need to hurry. You do not need to be more than you are. There is strength in staying. There is peace in simply being. You let this realization sink into the deepest part of you. The mountain stands behind you like a guardian. The breeze moves around you like a friend. And the Buddha's quiet compassion surrounds you with infinite warmth. Up ahead, the stone path continues upward, leading toward a place of deeper silence and inner space. With your hands relaxed at your sides and your breath steady, you step forward once more, ready to walk into the calm that awaits further along the mountain's gentle rise. The mountain's quiet strength continues to guide your steps upward, and the stone path becomes more defined beneath your feet. Each stone feels smoother now, shaped not only by time, but by the countless quiet journeys taken before yours. The air around you grows softer as you ascend, like a blanket of cool night wrapped gently over your shoulders. You pause on one step, then another, realizing that the path itself is teaching you something, with every rise of your foot and every shift of your weight. These steps are different from the ground below. They are not carved in harsh angles or placed with rigid precision. Each one is slightly unique, some wider, some narrower, some holding tiny patches of moss that cushion your feet. They feel almost alive, as though carrying their own memory of the footsteps that climbed them long before you arrived. As you step onto the next stone, you begin to sense what these steps represent. The quiet acceptance of yourself, moment by moment. You lift your foot and place it on the next stone, noticing the way it supports you instantly, without hesitation, without asking anything of you in return. Acceptance feels like that. Solid, steady, uncomplicated. You realize how often you climb through life without noticing the ground beneath you, without recognizing the small acts of support that carry you forward every day. But here on this mountain, every step reminds you of your own worthiness, of the simple truth that you deserve to be supported. The Buddha's compassion feels close enough to touch now, not as a blaze of revelation, but as a warm presence just behind you, like hands gently resting on your back, not pushing you, not guiding you with force, just steady, reassuring contact. The feeling sinks into your bones, quiet and calming. You sense a whisper of kindness flowing through you, one that tells you you're allowed to take your time, allowed to breathe, allowed to be exactly who you are without apology or expectation. You continue climbing, each stone step becoming a small meditation. When you step up, you feel your breath deepen. When you rest your foot fully, you feel your body settle. When you pause, you feel something within you soften. Some old fear, some old judgment, some old resistance. The mountain seems to understand, holding space for every emotion that rises and falls within you. It doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks only that you keep moving gently, honestly. The air changes again as you ascend. It becomes clearer, purer, touched by a faint hint of cool incense drifting from somewhere above. You breathe it in, feeling it glide down your throat and into your chest, loosening something there. The scent carries warmth and clarity together, like a reminder of a safe place you haven't yet reached, but somehow already know. The moonlight brightens around you as the trees thin out near the upper part of the slope. Small lantern-like glimmers appear between branches, their soft gold reflections bouncing off the stones. The path narrows slightly, but it does so with tenderness, as if encouraging you to focus inward as much as outward. You take another step, and then another, letting the mountain's steady presence hold you. Up ahead, the stone steps curve one last time before straightening into a smooth, level stretch. The air grows warmer in that direction, illuminated by a soft glow that hums with quiet peace. You know without needing to see it clearly that something meaningful waits at the top, something gentle and welcoming, something built, not for the world, but for the heart. As you reach the final few steps, you begin to feel the transformation settling into your breath. The climb doesn't feel like effort anymore. It feels like acceptance becoming part of your body. The Buddha's compassion follows you closely, no longer behind you but around you, surrounding you with a protective warmth that eases every movement. Your steps become smoother, lighter, almost effortless. When you finally reach the top of the stone path, the world opens into a quiet plateau bathed in soft golden light. At the center of this peaceful space stands a small temple, simple, beautiful, shaped like a gentle invitation, rather than a structure meant to impress. Its walls glow faintly with the warmth of lanterns inside, and its roof curves softly like folded hands in prayer. The temple feels alive with stillness. It radiates a sense of belonging, as though it has been waiting for you, recognizing your arrival without fanfare or surprise. The breeze moves around it gently, carrying the scent of incense and warm stone. The moonlight rests on its doorway like a blessing. You stand before the temple, breathing deeply, feeling the last remnants of the climb melt away. The steps behind you lie quietly, holding the memories of your ascent. The temple before you whispers its silent welcome, offering a refuge for the next part of your journey. With your heart steady and your breath calm, you move forward into the soft, glowing entrance, letting the temple's peace gather around you like a warm embrace. Stepping past the threshold, You enter the temple's embrace as though crossing into a world where time softens into stillness. The air inside is warm, quiet, and fragrant with a faint trace of sandalwood that seems to drift from the walls themselves. The moment your foot touches the smooth wooden floor, the hush settles deeper around you. Not an empty silence, but a full, living quiet that holds everything gently. You feel it press softly against your skin, as if welcoming you home after a long journey you didn't realize you were on. The temple is small, but it feels vast in a way that has nothing to do with space. There are no loud ornaments, no grand statues, no elaborate decorations. Instead, everything is simple, clean, intentional. The wooden pillars curve gracefully upward, meeting in the center like hands folded in prayer. The stone floor beneath the central mat is polished smooth by years of quiet practice. Soft, golden light filters through paper screens, casting gentle patterns of shadow that seem to move with your breath. You take a slow step further inside. The silence around you deepens, settling into your chest like warm water. Your shoulders loosen. Your breath softens. The weight of everything you've been carrying feels lighter in this space. Not vanished, but held by something larger than yourself. You sense the Buddha here, not as a figure you look toward, but as a presence woven into the air, the walls, the very stillness itself. He feels close, closer than breath, closer than thought. At the center of the room rests a single cushion, placed with perfect intention. You walk toward it, each step echoing softly against the wood. When you sit, the cushion conforms to your shape, holding you gently, allowing your body to relax without effort. You place your hands softly on your lap and allow your spine to lengthen naturally, your posture guided, not by discipline, but by the quiet encouragement of the space. In front of you sits a small altar, simple, humble, glowing with warmth. A delicate clay bowl rests upon it, and inside the bowl is a candle. The flame has not been lit yet, but its wick stands ready, waiting in the stillness like a heartbeat paused between moments. You feel a quiet anticipation rise within you, not demanding, not urgent, just a soft awareness that something tender is about to unfold. As you inhale, the air around the unlit candle trembles slightly, as if it recognizes your presence. And when you exhale, a faint shimmer of light sparks at the wick, glowing with a softness that feels impossibly delicate. The flame blooms slowly, like a lotus opening in slow motion, its glow spreading outward in warm, gentle waves. The candlelight fills the temple in a way sunlight never could. It doesn't flood the room, it caresses it. It moves like a warm breath, illuminating the wooden walls with a soft golden shimmer. Shadows dance lightly behind you, stretching and contracting as if breathing along with you. The light reaches your hands, warming your palms, then your arms, then your chest. You close your eyes, letting it wash through you. This light is not fire. It is recognition. The Buddha's presence deepens as the flame steadies. You feel it, not above you or around you, but within you, as though this candle is simply revealing something that has always been burning quietly in your heart. The warmth rises through your chest, expanding slowly until it fills the entire space within you. You sense your inner world opening, step by step, the way the mountain opened its steady path, the way the breeze learned your breath, the way the sky held your thoughts without judgment. The silence inside the temple grows rich, full, alive. Every breath becomes an act of listening. Every exhale becomes an act of soft release. You begin to understand that silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of yourself. The candle flickers gently, its light reflected in your half-closed eyes. The flame feels familiar, like something you have known since the beginning of your life but only remembered now. As you sit in this warmth, you feel the boundaries between your body and the space around you blur. The candle's glow becomes your own glow. The temple's stillness becomes your stillness. Your breath becomes the room's breath. The soft quiet that fills the temple feels like it is coming from your own heart, unfolding from within, rather than settling from the outside. In this gentle union, you feel the Buddha's compassion surround you, steady, warm, unwavering, not as a figure watching over you, but as a presence resting within your own stillness. The temple becomes a mirror of your heart, and the heart becomes a temple spacious enough to hold anything you have ever felt. You breathe softly, noticing how the flame continues to shine with the same patient warmth. Its light guides your awareness gently inward, toward that quiet place inside you where all burdens can be set down. The silence grows even deeper, inviting you to explore, to listen, to rest. Somewhere within this stillness, you sense another glow forming just beyond your awareness, a path of golden light leading away from the altar, warm and inviting. The candle flame leans subtly in that direction, as if pointing the way toward a new space waiting gently beyond the temple walls. With a calm breath, you rise slowly from the cushion, carrying the quiet flame within your chest as you step toward the soft glow inviting you forward. The gentle hush of the temple gathers around you the moment you step inside, wrapping you in warmth the way a soft blanket might settle across tired shoulders. The air glows faintly, as though lit from within by something ancient and kind. As your eyes adjust to the dim serenity, you notice a small alcove near the center of the room, a carved niche in the stone wall, where a single candle burns. Its flame stands tall and steady, untouched by breeze or shadow, shining with a quiet certainty that immediately draws you closer. You walk toward it slowly, your steps softened by the smooth temple floor. Something about this candle feels familiar, though you're certain you've never seen it before. Its flame is small, yet impossibly bright, glowing as though fueled by an infinite invisible source. Even from across the room you feel its warmth spreading outward, reaching you like an open hand welcoming you home. There's no flicker, no wavering, just a gentle, unwavering light that seems to breathe in the same pattern you do. As you come to stand before it, the feeling deepens. The warmth from the flame seeps through your skin and settles into your chest, loosening every tight knot you've been carrying. You watch the flame closely, realizing that no matter how softly or deeply you breathe, it doesn't shift. It doesn't tremble with the currents of air around it. It simply burns, with calm confidence, with gentle strength, with quiet truth. The Buddha's love feels present here more intimately than before. Not distant, not at the edges of your awareness, but right here, pulsing from the flame itself. The candle seems to whisper in a way that isn't sound at all. Something like, "You are safe, and you are held, and you do not need to be perfect to shine." The message enters your heart like warm light, easing the heaviness from your thoughts. You kneel in front of the candle, resting your hands on your lap, feeling your breath deepen without effort. The temple walls rise around you like protective arms, sheltering you in a space made for softness. You can almost imagine countless others who may have knelt here before, seeking the same comfort, feeling the same warmth. The flame, unchanged by time, would have greeted each of them with the same gentle glow. As your gaze softens, the candle begins to reflect memories, not sharp images, but impressions of times when you felt lost or dimmed. These moments rise like tiny shadows at the edges of your awareness, but the light holds steady. Every time a shadow approaches, the flame simply continues to glow, showing you that no amount of darkness can touch its core. Its steady presence soothes the fear hidden in those old moments, reminding you that even when you felt alone, a light like this, quiet and enduring, was always within you. You reach out and hover your hand just above the flame, Though the fire touches only air, its warmth envelops your palm. The sensation travels quietly up your arm, spreading through your chest, filling you from the inside out. It feels like being remembered by something pure, something loving, something that has always known you were worthy of peace. Slowly, the light begins to change. Not brighter, not hotter, but deeper. The flame elongates gently, and its glow expands outward, casting wider gold across the stone walls. The shadows in the room soften until they melt entirely, replaced by a growing brilliance that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The candle itself remains centered, but the glow begins to spread beyond its small form, filling the room like dawn filling a valley. Your breath slows as the radiance grows. The walls of the temple begin to shimmer, as though made not of stone but of gold dust woven into air. The warm light drifts upward, collecting in gentle waves along the ceiling before cascading outward, transforming the entire chamber. You feel as though you're inside the flame now, bathed not in heat, but in compassion made visible. The Buddha's presence feels vast here, yet soft, as though holding the entire world in the palm of a hand and offering it peace. Every part of the golden glow feels infused with loving awareness, steady as the candle that started it all. And within this expanding light, something shifts inside you. You realize that the candle never flickered, not because the room was free of change, but because its flame was rooted in a source, beyond disturbance, beyond fear, beyond doubt. A quiet certainty settles into your chest. The candle is you, or rather the flame, this steady, quiet, unwavering light, is the part of you that has always known how to shine even in silence, even in uncertainty. It has waited patiently behind every layer of worry, every shadowed thought, every moment of disconnection. You rise to your feet slowly, letting the golden light settle across your shoulders. The room now glows like a hall of gentle radiance, shimmering with warmth. Ahead, you see a faint archway opening into a broader space, where the golden glow continues, wide and inviting, waiting to guide you deeper into the heart of compassion. You take a slow breath, carrying the steady flame within you, and step toward the golden hall that opens softly before you. The warm glow of the candle beside you steadies into a gentle radiance, bright enough to guide your steps, yet soft enough to calm every part of your being. As you rise from where you've been resting, the air around you seems to shift, as though the flame's warmth is opening a new doorway. You follow the subtle pull, moving deeper into the quiet temple until the narrow corridor expands into a vast chamber washed in a soft golden light that seems to float in the air itself. The hall unfolds before you like a sunrise made of kindness. Light pours from no single source. Instead, it seems to bloom from the very walls, the floor, the air. It glows in gentle waves that move slowly, like a warm tide rolling calmly toward a quiet shore. With each pulse of golden illumination, you feel your chest open a little more, your breath deepen, your shoulders soften. The moment you step inside, something within you loosens. A knot, a tension, a memory you've carried for too long. The hall seems to sense it, welcoming you without questions, without judgment. The Buddha's compassion fills the space, not as a distant echo, but as a living presence that embraces you the moment you cross the threshold. It feels like stepping into the heart of warmth itself. The hall's ceiling rises high above you, arching gracefully like the inside of a luminous lotus. The patterns etched into the golden surfaces resemble delicate petals, each one faintly shimmering, as though they're filled with quiet breath. When you look closely, the petals seem to move, opening and closing in a rhythm so subtle you might mistake it for imagination. But you know, deep within, that the hall is alive with the energy of compassion. Gentle, steady, endless. You walk slowly across the floor, your steps silent against the smooth stone that carries a comforting warmth. Every footfall seems to send a small ripple of golden light outward, as if the hall is responding to you, reflecting your presence back with kindness. You pause, placing a hand over your chest, and feel that light resonating inside you, echoing in the same rhythm the hall breathes. Compassion here is not something you earn. It is something that surrounds you simply because you exist. The Buddha's presence becomes unmistakable, appearing not as a figure, but as a feeling. The sense that every part of you is seen and accepted. Every flaw, every mistake, every moment of doubt is held gently, enveloped in golden warmth. There is no need to hide anything in this place. Compassion flows, effortlessly touching every hidden corner of your heart. You move toward the center of the hall, where a large circular pool of golden light shimmers on the ground. It isn't water, though it moves like it. It isn't flame, though it glows. It is compassion in its purest form, visible and alive. You kneel beside it, letting your fingers hover just above the surface. The warmth rises to meet your skin, lifting your breath into a soft sigh. When your fingertips finally touch the golden pool, the warmth rushes gently up your arm, through your chest, into your mind. It doesn't overwhelm. It softens. You close your eyes, letting the golden warmth sweep through you. It cradles your thoughts, tenderly touching the ones that ache the most. It doesn't push them away or force them to disappear. Instead, it cups them gently, acknowledging them, soothing them until they lose their sharpness and become light enough to drift into the quiet air around you. A single tear slides down your cheek, not of sorrow, but of release. The hall accepts it with the same love it offers everything else. You inhale deeply, and the golden light feels as though it responds to your breath, rising and falling in harmony with you. Compassion has become a shared rhythm, a shared warmth, a shared stillness. When you open your eyes again, the hall seems even brighter, as though it has been waiting for you to see it fully. The golden glow intensifies, not in brightness, but in presence, filling the hall with a warmth so deep it feels like being embraced from within. You stand slowly, letting the light steady you, guide you, carry you. As you turn to explore the far end of the hall, you notice the walls beginning to soften. Their golden shine shifts subtly into a gentler shade, warm, but now tinged with the faintest hint of pink. The air grows cooler, touched by a new softness, something lighter, like the first breath of dawn spreading across a quiet garden. The hall does not close behind you. It simply blends into the next space. The golden light thins into a soft haze, and through it, you see the suggestion of leaves, petals, and gently swaying branches. Compassion follows you like a warm glow in your chest, lighting your steps as you walk toward the peaceful garden beginning to take shape, waiting to welcome you into the next calm chapter of your journey. The soft glow inside the golden hall gradually fades into a gentler, more natural warmth, as if the very light itself has decided to guide you somewhere quieter. You take a final slow breath within the vast sanctuary, feeling gratitude settle into your chest like a feather drifting into place. When you step toward the far side of the hall, the golden light gathers around your feet, showing you a small doorway, partially hidden by delicate curtains of shimmering cloth. The doorway beckons with a softness that feels like the beginning of a dream. You part the curtains gently, and the moment you do, the air changes. A tender breeze slips past you, warmer than the one on the mountain, scented faintly with blossoms you cannot yet see. It carries with it a hush, a serene stillness that feels impossibly deep. The light dims into a softer shade, neither golden nor moonlit, something in between, like the glow of a lantern held behind frosted glass. You step forward, and the world opens gently into a hidden garden. It is a peaceful, sacred place, one that feels untouched by urgency or time. A soft carpet of moss spreads beneath your feet, cushioning each step with warm, gentle support. Trees with slender white trunks rise around the garden, their leaves whispering quietly overhead in a choir of soft breaths. Instead of the vast sky you left behind, here the air holds a tender enclosure, like cupped hands, cradling a small flame. Every leaf glimmers faintly as though dusted with the memory of starlight. Flowers bloom in soft clusters, pale blue, muted pink, warm peach, each petal shaped like a gentle thought unfolding. The fragrance is delicate, subtle, a blend of sweetness and calm that makes your entire body feel lighter. You inhale deeply, and peace flows into you with such ease that you wonder why you ever struggled to find it. In this garden, silence does not feel empty. It feels full, full of presence, full of listening, full of understanding. It is a silence that invites you deeper, that makes space for you the way soft soil makes space for a seed. You walk slowly between the flowers, feeling a growing sense of weightlessness settle over your shoulders, easing the parts of you that have carried too much for too long. The Buddha's love rests in this garden like morning dew on petals, not visible at first glance, but unmistakable once felt. It touches you through the gentle warmth in the air, the soft glow of the blossoms, the way each breath arrives and leaves without struggle. This love does not speak. It simply surrounds you, comforting in its simplicity. You pause beside a small pool of water at the garden's center. Its surface is perfectly still, as if honoring the silence that fills this hidden place. When you look into it, the reflection that greets you is softened, peaceful, and entirely at ease. You do not see tension in your face or worry in your eyes. You see yourself as the garden sees you. Someone worthy of quiet, of rest, of gentle moments that ask nothing and give everything. You kneel beside the pool, touching the warm moss with your fingertips. The ground feels alive, humming faintly with a subtle, comforting rhythm, like the slow heartbeat of the earth itself. With every breath, the garden seems to draw closer to you, not physically but emotionally, offering you a sense of belonging without asking you to become anything other than what you already are. As you rise and continue walking, you notice that every step feels lighter than the last. The garden responds to your presence. When you move, the petals nearest you open slightly wider, releasing soft sparkles of light that drift upward like tiny fireflies. The air begins to shimmer gently, carrying these glimmers through the branches above. They dance around you in slow spirals, illuminating your path with delicate radiance. Something deep within you begins to settle in a way you have not felt before. This is not just peace. It is rest for your inner world, rest for your fears, your doubts, your tired thoughts. In this garden, you do not have to understand anything. You do not have to solve anything. All you need to do is be present, and the garden welcomes every quiet part of you. A small opening appears near the back of the garden, framed by two large blossoms that bow slightly like guardians of a sacred doorway. Beyond them, the light shifts again, becoming softer, more ethereal, shimmering with a promise that feels both mysterious and comforting. You feel a subtle pull toward it, as though the air itself is guiding you toward an even deeper layer of peace. You look once more at the garden around you, feeling gratitude expand in your chest like a slow, warm bloom. Then, with steady breath and softened heart, you move toward the shimmering path, ready to enter the next space of calm waiting just beyond the glowing petals. The moment you step beyond the quiet edge of the last stone, the air around you begins to change in a way so subtle, so gentle, that for a breath you aren't sure whether it's the world shifting or something within you. A faint glow shimmers through the space ahead, soft, pale, almost invisible at first, like morning light resting on a thin veil of mist. You take another step, and the glow gathers around you, warming the air as if an unseen lantern has just been lit. You pause, letting this new air settle around your skin. It hums ever so lightly, not with sound but with feeling, a quiet vibration that makes your breath deepen without effort. The air seems to awaken something inside you, not by stirring it, but by soothing it, calming it until it becomes clear. Every inhale feels like drawing peace directly into your lungs, while every exhale creates a small ripple of light that dissolves into the space before you. You lift your gaze. The space ahead looks almost magical. The shimmer moves in gentle waves, like heat rising off sun-warmed stone, except cooler, softer, filled with a luminous gentleness that has nothing to do with temperature. It dances in slow patterns, touching everything, stone, air, your hands, with a delicate glow. The world feels thinner here, in the best way, as though layers of tension and heaviness that once surrounded you have fallen away. What remains is spaciousness, clarity, the beginning of true calm. You step further into the shimmering air. The moment your foot touches the ground, a warmth pulses up your leg, rising steadily into your chest like a small tide. It isn't strong or overwhelming, it's soothing, like warm water resting against your skin. The Buddha's presence fills the air, not appearing in form, but felt deeply, like a quiet embrace wrapping around you from every direction. There is no boundary to it, no edge or beginning. It simply is, and you are inside it. You breathe again, and the shimmering air responds. It softens. It gathers. It folds gently around your shoulders, as if draping you in a robe woven from calm itself. Thoughts that flicker at the edge of your awareness dissolve the moment they appear, absorbed into the glow before they can take shape. You realize you're entering a new kind of stillness, one that isn't silent out of emptiness, but out of fullness. Your steps slow naturally. The ground beneath you feels smoother, cushioned, as though the earth is offering you the softest possible pathway. Each movement feels fluid, effortless. The shimmering glow expands slightly with each breath you take, swirling into soft patterns that reflect your inner state. The calmer you feel, the smoother their motion becomes. The more open you become, the brighter they glow. A subtle sound begins to form in the air, a tone so delicate it's barely more than a whisper. At first, it seems distant, like a bell rung from far away. But as you continue moving, the tone grows clearer, warm and pure, resonating through your chest. It doesn't announce anything. It doesn't demand attention. It simply exists, slipping into your awareness like a droplet of light falling into still water. You pause again, letting the tone rest within you. It vibrates gently through your ribs, then spreads slowly outward, easing tension you didn't know you were holding. It steadies your breath. It quiets your heartbeat. It calms the space behind your eyes. The shimmering air around you brightens in response, glowing softly in rhythm with the tone, as though the entire space is breathing with you. Then slowly, imperceptibly, the tone fades. Not abruptly, not completely, but gradually, dissolving like mist touched by morning sun. The silence it leaves behind feels deeper, warmer, more loving than the sound itself. You sense that the bell was never meant to continue. Its purpose was simply to bring you here, into this state of clear, awakened calm. The Buddha's closeness intensifies, but in the gentlest way. You feel it not as a presence outside yourself, but as a softness blooming from within. Warmth in your chest, spaciousness in your mind, lightness in your limbs. You feel held from both inside and out, supported by something greater and kinder than anything you have ever known. The shimmering air around you seems to blend with your breath now, entering and leaving your body as though you and this peaceful space are no longer separate. You realize you're standing in a moment of awakening, not the awakening of sudden realization or dramatic change, but the awakening that comes from surrendering tension, from allowing yourself to be loved by the world around you. This calm does not remove your humanity. It embraces it. It accepts you exactly as you are with tenderness shaped by compassion. The shimmering glow ahead begins to gather once more, curling gently like soft smoke rising from incense. It forms a delicate trail that winds forward into a quiet, floating mist, forming near the ground. The path is calling you again, inviting you deeper into the gentle peace waiting beyond this serene air. With one last slow breath, you step toward the mist ahead, carrying the awakened calm within you like a warm lantern lighting your way forward. The soft glow of the temple's inner light settles behind you as you step deeper into the mountain's quiet embrace. The air grows even more still, as though the world has paused to make room for what comes next. The path ahead narrows into a corridor of gentle shadow, lined with smooth stones that reflect only a whisper of moonlight. Each step feels softer than the last, cushioned by a calm that seems to rise from the earth itself. You breathe in, slow and steady, and something within you loosens just a little more. Then, without warning and without sound, you feel it. A vibration so subtle it's almost like a memory brushing against your awareness. It's not a noise, not even a hum, but a presence that flows through the air like a ripple through still water. Your chest expands slightly, responding to something you cannot hear, yet unmistakably sense. The bell rings, though no sound moves through the night. It comes again, a silent resonance, gentle but certain, passing through your body like a warm pulse of light. You pause, resting your hands lightly against your heart as the sensation deepens. The bell's presence settles into your ribcage, into your breathing, into the quiet spaces of your mind. It doesn't ask for attention. It simply becomes part of you, a silent reminder that peace can speak without a voice. As the resonance continues, the world around you seems to shift. The air becomes clearer, as though refined by the bell's vibration. Even your thoughts begin to soften, thinning into faint wisps that dissolve before they can take hold. You feel as though you are stepping into a moment outside of time, a place where nothing needs to be remembered and nothing needs to be planned. Only presence remains. The Buddha's love grows deeper in this silence. It surrounds you without movement, without temperature, without form. Just pure presence, steady and unmoving. It rests within the stillness like a hand gently placed on your back, reassuring you not with words, but with a timeless knowing. You breathe more deeply, and the bell's silent resonance flows with your breath, expanding with each inhale, settling with each exhale, guiding you deeper into calm. The path opens slightly, revealing a wide space where the ground is covered in a carpet of soft white petals. They glow faintly with the moon's silver light, creating a surface that looks like a quiet snowfall frozen in time. When you step onto the petals, they do not scatter. They hold their place gently beneath your feet, cushioning your steps, as if welcoming you with delicate care. Above you, the sky seems to grow larger, stretching outward until it feels endless. Stars shimmer faintly, as though softened by the bell's silent touch. The night itself seems to breathe slowly, following the rhythm that fills the space around you. With each silent pulse, your awareness sinks deeper into stillness, like a stone settling into the heart of a tranquil pond. You walk further, your movements slow and fluid. The petals drift gently around your ankles with each step, stirred not by wind but by the bell's unseen resonance. It feels like walking within a dream, yet more alive than any dream could be. The air takes on a faint glow, as if illuminated from within, and you feel the boundary between your body and the world begin to soften. In the distance, a shape appears, not a structure, not a figure, but a faint shimmer that grows clearer as you approach. It resembles a bell, tall and graceful, but formed entirely of light. It hangs suspended in the air without ropes, without a frame, without any physical anchor. And though no sound comes from it, the silent resonance that fills the night belongs unmistakably to this glowing form. You stand before it, feeling the quiet power radiating outward. The bell of light pulses gently, each wave of silent vibration dissolving another layer of tension within you. Your shoulders relax completely. Your jaw softens. Even the small, hidden muscles around your eyes release their hold. You breathe out, long and slow, and for a moment you feel as though the air passes right through you without resistance. The bell pulses again, and again. Time stretches thin, becoming soft and fluid. Your thoughts drift like feathers, weightless and free. The Buddha's presence feels infinite here, resting in the silence that stretches between pulses of unseen sound. You realize that this silence is not emptiness. It is fullness so complete that there is no need for noise. As you stand before the silent bell, a faint mist begins to gather around you, rising from the ground like soft breath released from the earth. Its cool touch brushes against your skin, swirling gently around your legs, your arms, your shoulders. The mist thickens slowly, wrapping you in its quiet embrace like a veil woven of moonlight. You inhale the softness of the mist, feeling it settle gently within you. The bell's silent resonance continues, guiding the mist into the air around you, shaping it into a pathway that begins to drift inward, deeper into the mountain's serene heart. With your breath steady and your spirit calm, you step forward into the mist, letting it guide you toward the next still, quiet place awaiting you. The first thing you notice as you step forward is how the air begins to soften, as though the world itself is exhaling in a long, gentle breath. A thin veil of mist rises from the ground, drifting in slow ribbons that curl around your ankles. It isn't cold, nor is it damp. It feels like a tender embrace forming from the quiet around you. The mist gathers gradually, climbing with delicate patience, as if it wants to be certain you are ready for its touch before it settles more fully. Within moments, the mist rises to your knees, then your waist, and the world becomes hazier in the softest possible way. Shapes blur, sharp edges dissolve, and colors melt into gentle tones of silver and pale blue. The mist wraps around your arms, resting against your skin with a warmth that feels impossibly kind. It's as though the Buddha's compassion has taken a physical form, soft, enveloping and protective. You feel it, settling around your shoulders, loosening muscles you hadn't realized were tense. You pause, allowing the mist to hold you. It drapes over you like a shawl woven from gentleness, the kind that reassures without speaking. There is nothing here to fear. Even the silence feels warm, as though the mist itself hums with a quiet lullaby that only the heart can hear. You breathe in slowly, and the mist fills your lungs with a comfort so profound, it brings your awareness into a deeper stillness. The more you breathe, the more the mist responds. It moves with you, flowing in harmony with each inhale and exhale. When you breathe out, it gathers around your chest, holding you lightly, as if reassuring you that nothing needs to be pushed away or carried alone. When you breathe in, it expands, offering space, acceptance, and ease. It feels like being understood without a single word passing from your lips. You take a few steps forward, and the mist moves with you, wrapping around your legs, guiding your path with a soft touch. Your footsteps are nearly silent now, muffled by the thickening veil beneath you. You feel the mist supporting you, the way warm hands might guide someone who is tired, not to control their movement, but to ease the burden of taking each step. Soon it grows thicker still, rising to your shoulders, brushing against your cheeks with the lightness of a whispered blessing. The world around you fades into gentle obscurity. There is no need to see far ahead, no need to analyze where the path leads. Here, in this cocoon of mist, presence is enough. You are enough. Every part of you, your breath, your heartbeat, your weary thoughts, is held by the compassion swirling softly around you. As you stand in this warm haze, your worries drift outward like small feathers, released into the air. They don't fall, they simply dissolve. You can feel them slipping away. Concerns that once felt heavy, fears that clung tightly to your chest, doubts that whispered loudly all day long. The mist absorbs them without resistance, dissolving them into its soft glow. You do not need to force anything. The release is natural, effortless. The Buddha's love deepens here, settling over you like an invisible presence standing just behind your back. Not looming, not overwhelming, but offering the steady warmth of someone who keeps watch with infinite patience. You sense this presence in the way the mist curves protectively around your ribs, in the way it lingers with gentle insistence near your heart, as though shielding it from any lingering tremor. You begin to walk again, the mist accompanying your steps with a slow, rhythmic drift. Gradually the air shifts. There is a subtle change, light, sound, pressure. Ahead of you, the mist begins to glow faintly, not with brightness, but with a soft, luminous promise. The warmth from the Buddha's presence seems to concentrate in that direction, as though guiding you toward an even deeper peace. As you move closer, the mist thins, but not all at once. It loosens gently, parting with the tenderness of someone letting go, but still staying near. You step forward, and the haze ahead begins to clear, revealing smoother ground beneath your feet. A faint glimmer appears in the distance, shimmering like liquid moonlight. With each step, the mist pulls back, revealing more of the scene before you. You feel it, trailing behind you still, keeping its careful distance, ready to accompany you whenever needed. Soon you find yourself standing at the edge of a quiet shoreline, a lake so still that it reflects the sky, as though carved from glass. The mist drifts across the surface, forming elegant patterns that fade into the water as though becoming part of it. You sense immediately that the lake is waiting for you, just as the mist did, a place of floating, of release, of effortless rest. You take one final breath in the warm cocoon of mist behind you, feeling its last gentle embrace. The soft glow of the lake spreads before you, inviting you into its calm. With your heart light and your breath steady, you step toward the water's edge, ready to be held in the quiet serenity that lies ahead. The path from the chamber of inner light leads you gently back into the open night, where the air feels lighter than before, almost as if the temple itself has breathed out a blessing that now follows you. You walk slowly, your steps softened by a new ease that has settled into every part of your being. The world around you seems quieter, as though listening closely to your breath. Ahead, a faint shimmer glows between the trees, soft, silvery, and wide, like the reflection of a distant star resting on water. As you move toward it, the sound of the world changes. The forest's hush deepens, and a low, serene stillness spreads through the air. The kind of stillness that signals you are approaching something sacred. The light grows stronger with each step, and soon the trees part once more, opening into a vast lakeside illuminated by moonlight that seems to pour from the sky in gentle streams. The lake stretches out before you, perfectly still, its surface smooth as polished glass. The reflection of the moon ripples only when the faintest breeze passes by. And even then, the movement is so slight that it feels more like a breath than a disturbance. The water is dark yet luminous, holding the night sky like a quiet cradle. There is an immediate sense that this place is meant for rest, deep, complete, effortless rest. You step closer to the shore. The ground is soft here, covered in fine sand that glows faintly in the moonlight. As your feet sink gently into it, you feel a cool, soothing sensation rise through your legs, relaxing the muscles that have carried you across so many quiet landscapes tonight. The air at the lakeside carries a delicate scent, something clean and pure, like water touched by moonlight. The Buddha's presence feels unmistakably close here, not around you or behind you, but beneath you, woven into the still surface of the lake itself. His compassion hums through the air like a soft vibration, steady and warm, inviting you toward the water. There is no hesitation in his presence, only welcome, only love. You kneel near the edge of the lake and place your fingertips on the surface. The water greets you with a warmth that surprises you, as though the lake has held onto the day's sunlight and saved it for this moment. When your fingers dip beneath the surface, the warmth spreads into your hands, then your wrists, traveling slowly upward through your arms, relaxing each muscle it touches. This warmth feels like being held gently, as if the lake recognizes your tiredness and is ready to carry it. You take a slow breath and ease yourself into the water. The moment your body meets the lake, you feel weight leave you. Real weight, the kind that presses on your shoulders, curls into your chest, or rests quietly in your stomach. It dissolves instantly, melting into the warmth of the water. The lake holds you before you even fully settle into it, supporting you with a softness that feels almost unreal. There is no resistance, no struggle, no need to adjust. The water simply carries you. You lean back, letting your head rest gently on the surface. Your ears sink slightly beneath the water, muting the world into a soft hum. The night sky above unfolds in a brilliant display of stars, scattered like diamonds across a velvet canvas. Their reflections shimmer below you, creating the illusion that you are floating between two skies, one above, one beneath. You breathe in, slow and deep, and the lake lifts you effortlessly. You breathe out, long and smooth, and the lake continues to hold you without the slightest shift. It feels as though the water has learned the rhythm of your breath and moves with you, keeping you suspended in a perfect cradle of warmth and ease. The Buddha's compassion fills the space within and around you, becoming the very surface that supports you. Every part of your body feels lighter, your hands drifting weightlessly at your sides, your legs floating without effort, your spine releasing tension into the water. It is as though the lake is gathering every thought, every worry, every heaviness that has lingered inside you and holding it gently, dissolving it in its warmth. You close your eyes, and the sensation of floating becomes even more profound. You feel the boundary between your body and the water soften, then blur, then dissolve. You are no longer separate from the lake. You are part of its stillness, part of its warmth, part of its quiet embrace. Breath moves in and out of you like a tide, slow and steady. You sense the distant horizon stretching endlessly beyond the edge of the lake, a soft line where sky and water meet in quiet harmony. Even without opening your eyes, you feel that horizon, open, wide, free. It represents something beyond thought, beyond effort, beyond expectation. As your body continues to float with perfect ease, you understand that this lake is more than water. It is the Buddha's compassion in physical form, effortless, unconditional, unwavering. It carries you not because you are light, but because you are loved. You breathe once more deeply, fully, allowing the warmth of the lake to seep into every corner of your being. When you finally open your eyes, the stars reflect more brightly on the water's surface, as if acknowledging the peace settling deeply within you. The lake continues to hold you with steady devotion, and somewhere along the distant horizon, you sense a gentle glow rising, an invitation from the next quiet space on your journey, waiting for you when you are ready to float toward it. The soft golden glow of dawn continues to gather around you as you leave the quiet embrace of the previous moment. The air carries a gentle warmth now, the kind that feels like a promise beginning to unfold. The sky stretches out in front of you in a sweep of pale amber and muted rose, colors blending into one another with the tenderness of a slow breath. Something in the world seems to be awakening, not loudly, not suddenly, but with a sense of quiet certainty. You feel it stirring within you as well, as though a deeper space is opening in your chest, ready to receive whatever comes next. You walk forward onto a smooth, open expanse where the earth meets the sky in a breathtaking stretch of simplicity. There are no trees here, no walls, no shadows, only space, vast and serene. The horizon spreads endlessly in front of you, a soft line where light and land meet in perfect stillness. It doesn't feel far away. Instead, it feels close. So close it feels as if you're already touching it, simply by standing here. You take a slow breath and feel the openness pulling gently on your lungs, widening them, expanding them. There is no boundary here, no sense of over there and here. The horizon is not a destination. It is an invitation, a reminder that there are parts of life you do not need to chase, because they already exist within you. A warm breeze moves across your legs, drifting up toward your chest. It carries with it the scent of new light, soft, earth, faint blossoms, and a hint of morning mist. The air feels fresh enough to soften anything heavy inside you. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the breeze wrap around you, and you notice that the weight you once felt in your shoulders is almost entirely gone, dissolved into the endless expanse of sky. When you open your eyes again, the horizon has shifted, glowing brighter as the sun prepares to rise. The colors deepen into soft golds, pale yellows, and a gentle blush at the edges. You watch as the sky stretches wide, as if embracing every part of the world with open arms. The Buddha's compassion fills the space around you like a warm radiance, lifting your awareness with a quiet touch. You feel surrounded by a love that has no direction, no borders, no limits. You begin to walk slowly, though there is nowhere in particular to go. Your steps fall soundlessly on the smooth ground, and each movement feels lighter than the one before. You sense a profound shift inside you, a realization forming quietly. You do not need to reach the horizon. You have never been apart from it. You have carried it with you all along, tucked beneath your ribs, like a secret you were always meant to rediscover. As you walk, the golden light grows stronger, brushing over your skin in gentle waves. It warms your face, your hands, the steady rise and fall of your breathing. The Buddha's presence feels woven into the sunlight itself, each ray touching you with a kindness that softens every lingering doubt. There is nothing to outrun, nothing to prove, nothing to fix. In this light, you feel completely whole. Whole in the way you exist now, not in the way you think you must become. The sky brightens slowly, revealing delicate streaks of soft orange and faint lavender. A quiet hum seems to vibrate through the air. Not a sound exactly, but a feeling, like the world exhaling after a long, peaceful sleep. You pause, letting the light fill every corner of your awareness, and your heart expands in response. The horizon glows brighter, widening further, until the space feels almost infinite. And then, as if in gentle ceremony, the first sliver of the sun rises above the edge of the world. Its light spills across the land like warm silk, washing everything in gold. The horizon disappears into this gentle brilliance, no longer a line, but a place where light and life merge seamlessly. You feel that merging inside you, a quiet dissolving of distances, a soft blending of moments, a sense that you are part of something vast and beautiful. The sunlight warms your palms, your chest, the soft curve of your neck. You close your eyes again, letting the golden glow seep deeper, and you feel the Buddha's love rise with the sun, enveloping you from within. It expands outward, limitless, reaching beyond the edges of your being, touching every part of you that still longed for completion. You realize now that completion isn't a destination, it's an awakening, a soft acceptance that you were whole even in the moments you felt most lost. You stand with the sunrise, breathing slowly, letting the golden light settle into your spirit like quiet truth. The horizon no longer calls you forward. Instead, it holds you, just as you are in gentle, loving stillness. As the warmth deepens, you feel the world shifting softly around you, guiding you toward the next unfolding moment, a morning radiant with silent joy, waiting just beyond the rise of the sun. The night that held you so gently begins to soften at its edges, almost as if the darkness itself has decided to loosen its embrace. You stand in a peaceful silence, noticing the slightest shift in the air, a quiet brightening, a delicate warmth stirring within the coolness of dawn. It begins subtly, like a whisper forming at the edge of consciousness. The horizon, once wrapped in deep indigo, begins to glow with the faintest brush of pale gold. It feels like watching a secret awaken. You take a slow breath, and the world around you seems to breathe with you. The sky stretches wider, making space for what is coming. The stars dim softly, slipping away not in defeat, but in graceful retreat, making room for a different kind of light. The air carries a gentle freshness now, a crisp clarity that feels like a promise gently unfolding. Then, almost imperceptibly, the first thread of sunlight pierces the horizon. It is not a dramatic burst. It does not rise in haste. Instead, it climbs with the patience of someone who knows there is no need to hurry. The light spills upward in slow, warm waves, each one touching the world with careful tenderness. The sky brightens, shade by shade, pale amber blending into soft peach, hints of rose weaving into gentle gold. Each color seems to soothe a different part of you, as though each layer of dawn has been painted with intention. The warmth reaches your skin in a gentle kiss, quiet but undeniably present. It feels like the world has leaned closer to welcome you, to remind you of something simple yet deeply needed, that joy does not always roar. Sometimes it rises softly, like morning light, touching everything without demanding anything in return. You close your eyes for a moment, letting that warmth settle over you. It seeps into your shoulders, easing away the tension that clung there through the long night. It moves through your chest, softening the tightness you barely noticed before. It melts down your spine in a slow cascade, grounding you with each breath. When you open your eyes again, the world glows brighter, fuller, as though the light has reshaped the very air around you. The Buddha's love feels woven into this dawn, quiet, steady, unhurried. It is not loud or overwhelming. It does not rise with ambition or expectation. It simply exists, like the sunlight expanding across the earth, filling every corner with gentle warmth. This love carries the same message that dawn does. You are allowed to begin again, and again, and again. No matter how long the night has been, morning always returns. As the sun climbs a little higher, the world around you becomes clearer. The silhouettes of distant hills sharpen, edged with gold. Soft dew glimmers on blades of grass. Small birds begin to stir, their wings catching the first sparkles of morning light. Their gentle calls echo across the landscape, not in urgency but as a natural celebration of the new day's arrival. There is joy here, but not the kind that demands attention. It is the joy that hums quietly beneath the surface of things. The joy that appears in the simple act of breathing. The joy that lives in warmth after cold, in light after darkness, in the knowing that being alive in this moment is enough. You feel this joy settle into your chest like a soft flame, steady, comforting, content. It doesn't flare or flicker. It glows. And with each breath you take, it grows a little brighter, warming your inner world the same way the sun warms the land. You walk a few steps forward, feeling the earth beneath your feet waking with the dawn. The light paints the ground in long, gentle strokes. It catches on leaves, on stones, on the quiet ripples of distant water. The entire landscape feels as though it has exhaled, releasing the final remnants of night and opening itself to the promise of the day. As you move through the golden air, you realize something subtle. Your heart feels lighter. Not empty, not hollow, but spacious. The weight you carried earlier has softened, its edges smoothed by the compassion woven into the rising sun. The Buddha's presence feels like a guiding warmth just behind you, encouraging you to continue walking with unhurried confidence, trusting that each moment is exactly as it needs to be. Gradually, the golden hues begin to shift. The dawn that once glowed with soft fire gently cools into early morning light. The sun rises higher, its warmth still tender but less dramatic. The sky transitions from the rose and amber of awakening into the soft blue of a day quietly beginning. All around you, shadows soften and lengthen, settling into a peaceful balance. You continue forward through this softening light, sensing that another change waits just ahead. The warmth at your back begins to mellow, as though guiding you toward a new moment of stillness. And in the distance, the sky hints at the calming colors of approaching evening. Soft lavender, deepening blue, inviting you toward the next part of your journey, where rest deepens and the world folds once more into quiet embrace. The golden warmth of the soft horizon slowly fades as you continue along the quiet path, and the first hint of evening settles around your shoulders like a delicate shawl. The air shifts gently, cooling in the most comforting way, not a coldness that bites, but a gentle, familiar touch that invites your body and mind to soften. The sky deepens into hues of lavender and muted rose, blending seamlessly into a calm blue that grows darker with each slow breath you take. It feels as though the world is preparing a place for you, shaping the night carefully, tenderly, just so you can rest. You pause for a moment, noticing how the evening settles, not only around you but within you. It gathers in your breath, in the quiet corners of your thoughts, and in the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. The day's brightness dissolves like a distant memory, leaving only a sense of warmth lingering in your chest. Everything that once tugged at your attention loosens its grip, drifting quietly into the softening air. The Buddha's presence moves through this dusk, like a familiar friend returning to sit beside you. There is no announcement, no grand gesture, only the unmistakable feeling of comfort settling in, like someone placing a gentle hand on your back. You sense it in the way your breath smooths itself out, in the quiet grounding that spreads through your chest, and in the tender stillness that grows between your thoughts. This presence does not speak, it simply is, and its being is enough to calm even the most restless part of you. As evening deepens, the light continues to soften until the world glows with a gentle, muted radiance. The landscape stretches wide around you, rolling earth, clusters of silent trees, and an open sky that seems to lean in closer with every passing moment. The edges of everything blur slightly, like a watercolor wash settling into the canvas of night. The air carries a faint sweetness, the subtle scent of wildflowers cooled by dusk. You breathe it in, feeling it move through you like a whispered assurance. A faint sound rises in the distance, a small, steady hum that feels almost musical in its consistency. It is the sound of the world settling, the sound of leaves brushing softly in the breeze, the sound of night preparing to cradle every living thing. You walk slowly, letting this peaceful chorus wrap around you. Each step feels softer than the last, cushioned by the earth's gentle embrace. Your body feels lighter, your thoughts quieter, as if the evening itself is guiding you toward a deeper stillness. The first star appears overhead, a tiny glimmer, sharp yet delicate against the slowly darkening sky. You lift your gaze and the star shines back at you with a quiet steadiness. It does not flicker nervously. It simply glows, unwavering, patient. Watching it, you sense something inside you aligning with that same steadiness. You breathe, and the star seems to breathe with you. Another star appears, then another, until the velvet canopy above you begins to sparkle with a growing constellation of gentle light. You find a place to sit along the path, where the earth dips into a small hollow lined with soft grass. The ground welcomes you as you lower yourself down, your body sinking comfortably into its natural contours. The grass cools your skin with a delicate touch, and the night air gathers around you like a warm, familiar blanket. You rest, your hands on your lap, feeling them loosen and relax, feeling the subtle vibration of the world slowing to match your breath. Above, the stars shine more brightly now, forming slow patterns that seem to pulse with your heartbeat. The sky no longer feels distant. It feels close enough to touch, close enough to listen, close enough to hold you the way arms would hold a tired soul. The Buddha's compassion vibrates quietly through the air, so gentle that you might mistake it for the evening breeze. But you recognize it. You feel its warmth nestle into you, filling the empty spaces with quiet belonging. You gaze upward for a while, letting time fall away completely. There is no urgency here, no thought that must be chased, no emotion that must be fixed. Evening holds you the way a mother might cradle a child returning home after a long day, without question, without resistance, with a love so gentle it feels like gravity itself. Then, with a calm heart, you lift yourself slowly to your feet. The night around you glows with silver and blue, and the stars shimmer like lanterns placed along an unseen path. You feel them guiding you onward, inviting you deeper into the peace of the night ahead. Just beyond the rise of a gentle slope, the shimmer of starlight gathers even more intensely, waiting to reveal the next quiet expansion of your journey. You step forward, letting evening's gentle embrace lead you toward the returning constellation of stars that will carry you onward into what comes next. As you step away from the quiet rhythm of your breath, the night around you begins to widen once more, opening into a space where the sky feels impossibly vast. The air grows cooler, brushing gently across your skin, as if encouraging you to look upward. When you lift your gaze, the heavens reveal themselves in full, an endless canopy sprinkled with stars that glow like tiny lanterns, suspended in the dark. They shimmer softly, not with intensity, but with patient presence, as though they have been waiting for you to notice them. You walk into a clearing, where the sky stretches unobstructed above you. The ground beneath your feet feels smooth and cool, shaped by time and untouched by disturbance. You settle slowly into the grass, feeling its soft blades cradle your weight with surprising tenderness. The earth seems to hold you with quiet understanding, as though it knows the journey you've taken to reach this moment. And overhead, the stars shine down in silent acceptance, watching you without a single demand. It's rare to be seen this way. Not judged, not measured, not compared. simply seen. The stars don't care how quickly you've walked, how much you've carried, how often you've stumbled. They recognize only your presence, your existence in this brief, gentle moment. Their light touches your skin softly, not to expose anything, but to remind you that you belong here, just as you are. You breathe in slowly, and the stars seem to pulse with your inhale. You exhale, and they soften again, matching your rhythm, as though they understand your breath from the inside out. The entire sky feels alive with compassion, its vastness cradling your smallness with tenderness rather than indifference. The Buddha's presence fills the space around you, woven into the starlight, expanding through the stillness with a warmth too subtle to see, but too true to ignore. You close your eyes for a moment, feeling the light from above rest on your eyelids like a gentle weight. In the quiet darkness behind them, thoughts begin to drift through, memories, worries, fragments of conversations, traces of feelings. Normally, they might cling or demand your attention. But under this sky, each thought becomes like a star, floating, distant, harmless. You notice them one by one, letting them shimmer without needing to hold or push them away. A memory rises, something that once embarrassed you. You watch it, like a tiny dim star at the edge of your awareness. It flickers once, then rests. Another thought appears, heavier, perhaps something you've regretted or blamed yourself for. But here, under this gentle cosmic watch, it loses its sharpness. It shines faintly for a moment, then eases into the dark, becoming part of the vastness rather than something that defines you. The Buddha's love becomes softer, like starlight warming the spaces between your ribs. It doesn't erase anything. You still recognize the memories, the feelings, but it holds them in a way that dissolves their heaviness. You realize that judgment has never come from the sky, never from the universe. It has always come from within you, shaped by experiences and expectations that were never yours to carry alone. Another slow breath. The air moves gently through your chest, deeper this time, smoother. You feel it settle into your belly, lifting it softly, then drifting out with a quiet sigh. This breath becomes the center of your awareness, the axis around which the entire moment rotates. The stars seem to breathe with you, expanding on your inhale, settling on your exhale. The night becomes a companion, matching your rhythm without effort. A deeper peace spreads through your limbs. Your hands grow heavy. Your shoulders sink into the ground. Your jaw unclenches without you noticing. You become softer, quieter, more open to the stillness around you. The stars continue watching, not to judge, not to measure, but to witness your presence with quiet reverence. Somewhere within that stillness, you feel a shift, subtle, warm, unmistakable. It's the sense of being completely accepted, not for what you've done or not done, not for who you've been or tried to be, but simply because you exist. The night sky holds that acceptance without question, without effort. It mirrors the Buddha's compassion perfectly. Vast, gentle, unconditional. You open your eyes again, letting the starlight filter back in. The clearing glows faintly, as though illuminated from within. The stars are no brighter than before, yet they feel closer, more intimate. Their presence settles into your chest like a quiet truth that will linger long after this night fades. The rhythm of your breath becomes slower still, each inhale lifting you lightly, each exhale letting you sink deeper into tranquility. In this soft harmony between body and sky, you feel the urge to rise, not from restlessness, but from a gentle pull forward, as though the night itself is guiding you toward the next step of your journey. You rise slowly, carrying with you the peace of being seen without judgment, and begin walking toward a distant, rhythmic sound. something familiar, something soothing, something that will guide you deeper into the presence that awaits you next. Chapter 23. The Breath That Connects All Things, 750 words. The quiet around you deepens as you step forward, leaving behind the soft glow of the previous moment. The air grows warmer, fuller, as though the world itself is drawing a long, peaceful inhale. You notice how your own breath begins to follow that rhythm, not by effort, but by instinct, as though something ancient within you remembers how naturally it can soften. Each inhale feels wider. Each exhale feels longer. The space between them widens into something calm and infinite. You walk slowly along a gently curving path of smooth sand, the ground warm beneath your feet. There are no trees here, no walls, no boundaries, only an open, quiet landscape that seems to breathe with you. When you inhale, the sand shifts delicately, forming faint ripples. When you exhale, the ripples soften and settle. Everything responds to your breath, as if the world has been listening for it. A faint golden mist hangs in the air, shimmering softly with every breath you take. It moves in slow waves, drifting and curling in patterns that match your lungs' rise and fall. The mist is not heavy or obscuring. It feels weightless, like light made into air, warm and gentle. When a strand of it drifts near your cheek, it brushes your skin with a sensation similar to compassion, silent, warm, and full. You stop walking and close your eyes for a moment. Your breath moves in and out of your body like the tide, slow, rhythmic, patient. You inhale, and the air fills you with a quiet glow. You exhale, and everything inside you loosens. You inhale again, feeling a sense of spaciousness expand behind your ribs. You exhale, and that spaciousness settles into stillness. The Buddha's presence surrounds you in this moment, not as a figure you can see, but as a softness that fills the air. It rests lightly on your shoulders, settles into your breath, and flows gently through your thoughts. It doesn't guide your breathing, it simply breathes with you. You feel it in the subtle warmth that blooms with every inhale and the gentle release that arrives with every exhale. You open your eyes to find the golden mist shifting slightly, forming a slow, swirling pattern ahead of you. It curls like smoke rising from incense, but cleaner, smoother, more harmonious. As you watch it move, you realize that the mist is responding not just to your breath, but to the quiet of your inner world. When your mind grows still, the mist becomes still. When your breath deepens, the mist widens its luminous arcs. You step toward the shimmering pattern. It parts gently around you, clearing a space like an open doorway. You walk into it, and the world shifts in a subtle, beautiful way. The air feels lighter. Your body feels softer. Even your thoughts become quieter, as if they have learned to breathe in harmony with the space around them. You come upon a small, natural hollow in the sand, shaped like a shallow bowl. It looks like a place made specifically for resting. You sit down slowly, letting your body settle into its gentle curve. The sand adjusts to your weight, holding you without pressure. When you lean back slightly, it supports you perfectly. As soon as you settle, your breath deepens on its own. A soft breeze arrives, not the kind that pushes, but the kind that caresses. It flows across your face, through your hair, down your arms. Its movement is so subtle and warm that it feels like a living presence sitting beside you. It carries the scent of something faintly sweet, like lotus petals warmed by sunlight. With each inhale, the scent grows fuller. With each exhale, it fades into a calm afterglow. You feel your thoughts, slowing even further now. Some drift in, memories, small concerns, passing images. But instead of clinging to you, they pass through like clouds brushing across a clear sky. You watch them without effort, without judgment. They come, they go. They leave no trace behind. As you continue breathing, something remarkable unfolds. The golden mist begins to pulse gently, expanding with your inhale, contracting with your exhale. It is as though the world has synced itself to your breath, and not the other way around. Your breath becomes the bridge connecting everything: the ground, the sky, the mist, the air, your body, your heart, your thoughts. You feel the boundaries between yourself and the world begin to blur, not fade away entirely, but soften, blend, merge in a peaceful, harmonious way. You inhale, and the world expands. You exhale, and the world settles. The Buddha's compassion flows through this connection, filling every inhale with warmth and every exhale with ease. You feel held, not by an external presence, but by the spaciousness within you. The understanding arises quietly, naturally. You are not separate from the world. Your breath is part of it. The calm you feel is part of it. The love that surrounds you is part of it. You remain in this stillness for a long moment, breathing gently, fully, without any sense of time. When you finally stand, the mist rises softly, guiding your gaze toward a narrowing path that leads into a quieter, slower flowing world. You step forward, carrying the infinite calm of your breath with you, ready to enter the deep river of time that awaits beyond. The quiet path before you narrows gently, leading you toward a place where sound fades into a soft, distant hum. The air grows still, almost motionless, as though the world has paused just long enough for you to feel the truth resting beneath everything. Ahead, a slender ribbon of water appears, a river so slow, so calm, that it barely seems to move at all. Its surface is smooth, unbroken, reflecting the muted glow of the night like polished stone. You step closer, drawn by the quiet promise it carries. The river winds peacefully through the landscape, not in a hurry, not concerned with where it has been or where it is going. It flows in the way a deep exhale moves through a resting body, steady, effortless, almost unnoticeable unless you stand very close. You kneel beside it, peering into its still surface, and notice that its reflections look softer than the images you saw earlier along your journey. Nothing is sharp here. Nothing insists on being seen. Everything blends in gentle waves of shadow and light. You feel time itself, reflecting in this river. Not the rigid version you measure with clocks, or the anxious version you feel pressing against your life. This is a different kind of time, one that breathes, one that opens slowly, one that does not rush you forward or drag you back. Here, time moves like the river. Quiet, patient, kind. A soft warmth settles through your chest as the Buddha's compassion gently fills the air around you. It wraps you in a presence that feels as wide as the horizon and as light as a breath. It is a reminder that the past does not cling as tightly as you think. It is a whisper that the future does not demand as fiercely as you fear. In this moment, only the gentle now exists. Peaceful, steady, held. You dip your fingertips into the river. The water is cool, but not cold. It slides around your skin like silk, comforting and smooth. When you move your hand slowly through it, you create barely any ripples at all. The river accepts your touch without resistance, without disturbance, the way time accepts every moment without judgment. You leave no mark on it. It leaves no weight upon you. You sit back on your heels, breathing deeply. Each inhale feels like stepping into the river. Each exhale feels like letting the water carry away the stiffness in your thoughts. Slowly, the idea of time loosens inside you. The idea that you must hurry, that you must fix, that you must chase or outrun something. Here you realize you cannot be late. You cannot be behind. You cannot fall short. The river moves with a tempo that invites you to rest in your own natural rhythm. A faint breeze stirs nearby, brushing gently past you before gliding over the river's surface. The water responds with the softest ripple, a single shimmering line that travels outward and fades into stillness. It shows you how even change can be gentle, how even movement can be soft, how even the shifts in your life can pass without shaking your foundation. You listen. There is no sound of rushing water, no splashing stones, no breaking currents. The river flows in silence, reminding you that progress doesn't need to be loud to matter. Some of your deepest growth, the kind that reshapes you with tenderness, happens quietly, just like this river, moving inch by inch toward the horizon. You lie down on the soft grass beside the riverbank, feeling the earth cradle your back. The sky above you glows with muted stars, scattered patches of silver that reflect just faintly on the water beside you. The world feels wider here, and yet more intimate, as though everything around you is folded gently into this moment of rest. Your thoughts drift like fallen leaves on the surface of the river. Some glide forward, some linger near the edge, some sink into the calm depths and disappear completely. You do not chase them. You do not cling to them. You simply watch them drift, and in doing so, you realize how little effort is needed to let a thought pass when your heart is quiet. The Buddha's compassion feels eternal here, stretching through the open night like a gentle thread weaving through your breath. Time stretches with it, soft and spacious. You feel no pressure to move, no fear of staying still. You exist in a space where everything unfolds at the perfect pace, your pace. As the river narrows further along its winding path, you sense it guiding you toward a place of deeper presence. Its gentle direction pulls your awareness forward, not with urgency, but with the soft certainty of something waiting patiently beyond this moment. Your body feels lighter as you rise slowly from the grass, your breath steady and unhurried. You step onto the narrow path beside the river, allowing its quiet rhythm to guide your feet. The flow ahead becomes softer still, thinning into a slender stream that leads toward a small opening in the landscape, a place where the present moment grows even more vivid, even more peaceful, ready to welcome you into the next chapter of your gentle journey. The air around you grows even more delicate as you move forward, touched by a gentleness that feels almost sacred. The glow from the last resting place lingers within your chest, a warm, steady radiance that doesn't fade but settles deeper, as if becoming part of you. Ahead, the land shifts into a quieter, more intimate landscape. The wide expanses of sky and forest narrow into a pathway so soft and slender, it seems woven from light itself. You step toward it with a sense of quiet anticipation, feeling the world subtly guiding you inward. The path is lined with smooth earth and faint traces of luminous sand, as though each grain was placed to highlight your way. It isn't bright. It doesn't call attention to itself. Instead, it glows with the kind of softness you find in the very center of a candle flame. Steady, warm, inviting. You feel a hush settle through your entire being at the sight of it, like the moment before a gentle breath, the moment where everything pauses to welcome you home. When your foot touches the path, the ground feels surprisingly warm. Not hot, not heated by the sun, warm in a way that suggests comfort, safety, reassurance. Your body responds instantly, releasing tension it didn't know it was holding. Your spine loosens, your shoulders sink with relief, your jaw softens, and your breath slips out in a long, natural sigh. The path feels like an embrace from the earth itself. With each step, the world around you quiets further. The sounds grow softer, not gone, just muted, like they've stepped back to give you space. The air becomes clearer, lighter. Even your own breath feels easier now, as if it's passing through a wider doorway inside your chest. The Buddha's presence surrounds you with a gentle closeness, not hovering above or around, but resting within the same space as your own consciousness. It feels like being carried without being lifted, supported without being held. As you walk, you begin to notice something shifting inside you. An inner glow that started earlier now brightens, not outwardly but inwardly, like a lantern slowly turning up its wick. It fills your chest, your ribs, your belly, your throat, spreading with the warmth of quiet acceptance. You don't have to do anything to feed it. You don't have to hold on to it. It simply continues to grow, steady and sure. The narrow path ahead is unlike anything you've walked so far. It doesn't represent challenge or uncertainty. It represents clarity. It represents the gentle truth that presence does not require wide spaces or perfect stillness. It requires only attention, only the willingness to be where you are. The path guides you into that understanding, one slow step at a time. Your thoughts begin to slow, becoming soft, round clouds drifting through a wide sky. When they appear, they do so gently. When they fade without effort. You watch them as you would watch a breeze move through leaves, curious, but never caught. Even the thoughts that once weighed heavily on you seem lighter here, as though they too recognize the sacredness of this place and choose to soften. You pause for a moment, placing a hand over your chest. The inner glow brightens in response, radiating outward like the warmth of a morning sun through silk curtains. It spreads into your fingertips, into your palms, down your arms. Your entire body feels illuminated from the inside, not with intensity, but with a softness that makes you feel weightless. The Buddha's compassion radiates through this glow, merging with your own essence until you can hardly distinguish where you end and the love begins. You continue walking, and the path becomes even narrower, not in a limiting way, but in a focusing way. Everything unnecessary falls away. The world grows simple, spacious, effortless. The only thing that exists is your breath, your steps, your presence. The air hums with a subtle vibration, as though the path itself is singing in a pitch only your heart can hear. Your awareness becomes naturally sharper, but also more tender. You begin to notice the smallest sensations. The faint warmth rising from the earth. The brush of night air across your wrists. The gentle pulse behind your ears. None of it overwhelms you. Each sensation feels like a small blessing, a reminder that you are exquisitely alive in this exact moment. The path begins to glow a little brighter ahead, revealing a gentle opening forming in the darkness. It is not a large space, just enough room for you, for your breath, for your presence. The inner glow inside your body reaches toward it instinctively, like a candle reaching toward open air. You step into the light as the narrow path curves gently into a wider, gentler flow of energy. The inner glow merges with the space around you, creating a harmony of warmth and calm that settles into every part of your being. You stand there for a moment, breathing easily, knowing that the next chapter will guide you even deeper into this radiant quiet within. With your heart open and your presence steady, you move forward into the soft unfolding brilliance that awaits. The soft warmth that has followed you through valleys, forests, moonlit waters, and ancient stone now begins to gather inside your chest, collecting itself like a gentle flame awakening within you. It doesn't start with brightness or heat, only a faint shimmer, a quiet awareness resting beneath your ribs, as if some long-forgotten light has finally remembered its way home. You stand still for a moment, letting the sensation settle, and the world around you becomes softer, quieter, as though giving space for this glow to rise. The air grows warmer, almost imperceptibly, brushing your skin like a thin layer of silk. You breathe in slowly, and the glow responds, not dramatically, but with a subtle expansion that feels almost like your heart inhaling alongside you. With each breath, the light spreads a little farther, filling the hollow spaces of your chest, smoothing the edges of old memories, softening places that once felt bruised or shadowed. You close your eyes, and the glow brightens, not outwardly, but within. It settles into the very center of your being, becoming a warmth that feels unmistakably yours. You recognize it, though you may not have felt it in a long time. This is the quiet illumination of your own heart, gentle, steady, unwavering, something that has always been there, simply waiting beneath the noise of life. The Buddha's presence is no longer beside you or behind you. It is within you, woven into the glow itself. This compassion is not separate from who you are. It moves through your breath, pulses in your heartbeat, and gathers in the space just behind your sternum. It feels like a warm hand placed inside your chest, not touching but holding, supporting, reminding you that you are made of something tender and resilient. You breathe again, and the glow strengthens. It moves through your shoulders, loosening the tension that once clung to them like invisible weight. It travels up your throat, softening the tightness held in silence. It flows gently down your spine, releasing heaviness you didn't know you were carrying. Each breath becomes a soft invitation for more light, more warmth, more ease. As the glow expands, the world around you grows distant, not in a disappearing way, but in a peaceful softening. The edges of everything blur slightly. Sounds become muted, like whispers drifting from a room far away. Even your own thoughts begin to quiet, not vanishing but becoming lighter, like feathers settling onto still water. You feel suspended in a moment that stretches gently, like fabric being pulled without tearing. Time loosens its grip, and all that remains is the steady pulse of the glowing light inside you. It radiates outward, filling your chest, your arms, your hands, your back. It reaches your stomach, your hips, your legs, your feet. The warmth becomes a blanket of tenderness running through your entire body. There is no urgency in this glow, no demand, no expectation. It does not ask you to be wiser, calmer, stronger, or better. It only asks that you allow it to exist. It asks that you let yourself feel the truth you so often forget. You are held. You are loved. You are whole. A thought rises. Something old. Maybe something that once caused you fear or doubt. But the glow meets it gently, wrapping around it with a compassion so soft it feels like a mother lifting a frightened child. The thought doesn't vanish. It simply loses its sharpness, its urgency. It becomes small, harmless, easy to release. The glow shows you that light does not push away darkness. It softens it, embraces it, transforms it. You open your eyes slowly, and the world looks different. Colors are warmer. Shadows are gentler. The space around you feels more spacious, more breathable. The glow inside you does not dim with the return of sight. Instead, it brightens, as though pleased to share its light with the world around you. A gentle breeze brushes your cheeks, but it no longer feels like an external touch. It feels like part of the same compassion flowing through you. Every sensation blends with the glow, becoming a quiet affirmation that you are connected to everything: earth, air, sky, sound, silence. You are not a visitor in this world. You belong here. The glow steadies. It settles into a warm pulse within your chest, no longer spreading outward, but resting calmly at your center. It is not fading. It is becoming. It is rooting itself into the deepest part of you, creating a light that you can return to any time, even when life becomes loud, even when the world feels heavy, even when doubt touches the edges of your mind. This inner light is yours now, yours to carry, yours to rest in, yours to trust. As the glow settles, the path ahead becomes faintly illuminated by its warmth. Not a bright path, not a demanding one, but a gentle way forward shaped by your own quiet strength. You take a slow breath, feeling the warmth linger at your core, ready to guide you deeper into the softness awaiting in the next chapter of your journey. The night deepens around you in a gentle, velvety hush as you follow the path onward, and the world shifts once more, not in shape, but in feeling. The air becomes lighter, softer, as though it has been filtered through layers of calm. Even the breeze grows faint, moving with such delicacy that it feels more like a whisper than wind. You take a slow breath, and something inside you loosens, like a small knot, finally releasing, after years of holding. Each inhale feels smoother, each exhale softer, until your breath becomes almost silent, matching the quiet around you. Ahead, the ground opens into a wide, pale space that glows with a muted radiance. It's not a light with source or direction. It seems to rise from the air itself. This soft glow envelopes the area like a gentle fog, though the air remains perfectly clear. You step into it, feeling warmth brushing lightly against your skin, melting away the last traces of tension held in your shoulders, your neck, your chest. The world in this space feels weightless. Even the sound of your footsteps becomes faint, absorbed into the softness of the ground beneath you. When you look around, you notice that the edges of your surroundings blur slightly, not disappearing, but no longer sharp. The trees at the perimeter stand like silhouettes, softened by mist. The sky stretches above you without stars, without moon, but filled with a dim, soothing glow that seems to come from everywhere at once. It's a space made for the mind to rest. You stand still for a moment, letting the quiet seep into your thoughts. At first, your mind continues moving, the way a wheel keeps turning, even after the hands pushing it have stopped. Familiar thoughts drift through, memories, worries, questions, echoes of conversations long past. But here something subtle begins to change. The thoughts slow, as though the air thickens gently around them, encouraging them to pause. One rises gently in your awareness, and you watch it, not with judgment, not with urgency, but with the same softness you'd offer a drifting feather. You notice its shape, its tone, and then something extraordinary happens. It begins to dissolve at the edges. Slowly, effortlessly, as though the glow in the air is loosening the structure that held it together. The thought fades like ink in warm water, leaving no residue, no mark, just quiet. Another thought appears, this one heavier, more familiar. It might be an old fear or a lingering doubt, one that usually feels dense enough to settle in your chest. But here, even this thought softens. You watch it rise like a small cloud, and you see how the glow around you touches it, gently thinning it until its weight disappears. It drifts upward, lighter and lighter, until it unravels into nothing more than a faint wisp of memory. The Buddha's presence fills this space like a vast, compassionate stillness. You feel it not as a figure, but as a sensation. Quiet, expansive, warm. It's the feeling of a gentle hand placed on the center of your back, steadying you without pressure. It's the feeling of a deep, unspoken acceptance wrapping around your mind, reminding you that you don't need to hold everything. You don't need to organize or fix or control the movement of your thoughts. You can let them dissolve naturally, like petals falling into a calm river. You breathe again, slower this time, almost without effort. As the air enters your lungs, It feels cool and clear. As it leaves, it carries away more of the mental chatter you hadn't noticed lingering. Your mind grows quieter, your inner landscape widening into openness. Thoughts still rise now and then, because that is what minds do. But here each one arrives like a bubble rising to the surface of still water, light, impermanent, quiet. You watch them. You don't reach for them. You don't resist them. They drift upward, shimmer, and gently pop into nothing. And with every dissolving thought, you feel yourself becoming lighter, as though parts of you, made of tightness and worry, are evaporating into the soft glow around you. Your body mirrors this shift. Your shoulders settle. Your jaw releases. Even the small muscles around your eyes relax, smoothing into ease. Your limbs feel comfortably heavy, grounded yet floating. It's as though your physical form remains rooted to the earth, while your mind rises into the sky, gradually blending with the quiet of the night. After a few moments, the entire space feels different. Wider, quieter, more open. You feel like you are standing in the center of a gentle, expanding silence. It embraces you without closing in. It supports you without clinging. It invites you to rest fully, without fear of what comes next. As you take a final, slow breath, you notice a subtle movement in the glow ahead, like a soft wave of light drifting forward, inviting you to follow. It feels warm, kind, familiar. You step toward it, carrying with you this newfound lightness, this quiet spaciousness where thoughts dissolve like mist. Ahead, the soft glow gathers into a gentle warmth, promising the peaceful sensation of floating that awaits in the next chapter of your journey. The quiet around you deepens, as if the entire world has paused to hold a single, tender breath. The air is warm now, softer than before, carrying the faint sweetness of distant blossoms and the gentle hush of night. You feel it settling over your skin like a comforting shawl, wrapping you in a warmth that asks nothing of you. No effort, no answers, no direction. Only presence, only being, only rest. You step forward into this softer realm, and the ground beneath your feet seems to dissolve into something lighter, gentler, almost cloud-like. It supports you without weight, without pressure. Your body loosens, your muscles softening as though they too are letting go of a long-held tension. Every breath you take feels lighter than the last, as though the air itself has been freed from heaviness. A glowing mist begins to gather around you, swirling slowly in delicate currents. It glimmers, with faint shades of gold and pale rose, drifting with a rhythm as calm as a sleeping heartbeat. The mist feels alive, not with urgency, but with love. A love so gentle, so warm, so boundless that it seems to recognize every emotion within you and embrace it all without hesitation. You exhale, and the mist responds, lifting slightly, then settling again as if breathing in perfect harmony with you. It brushes your arms, your shoulders, your face, with a softness that reminds you of being held, not physically, but emotionally, held in a way that requires no explanation. The Buddha's compassion moves through the mist, filling every space around you with a quiet presence that feels infinite. You take one more breath, and the ground beneath you fades completely into light. You don't fall. You don't rise. You simply float, suspended effortlessly in this luminous space. Your body feels weightless, like the gentle drifting of a leaf across still water. There is no resistance, no gravity tugging at you. Only the sensation of being carried by something so kind, so tender, that you feel your heart expand with each moment. The mist cradles you like warm water, buoying you upward with steady, soothing support. You drift slowly, calmly, as though resting on the surface of a peaceful ocean that stretches into infinity. Waves of tenderness ripple beneath you, subtle and soft, each one dissolving a different kind of heaviness. Worry softens, fear loosens its grip. Old memories that once felt sharp become distant, as though the mist itself is smoothing their edges. The Buddha's love surrounds you fully now. It doesn't appear as an image or a voice, but as an all-encompassing presence that meets every part of you. Your past, your heartache, your hopes, your quiet longing, and holds each one with boundless compassion. You feel no judgment here, no pressure to be different, no expectation to change. Only acceptance, so complete that it brings a tender ache to your chest. Floating here, you realize how rare it is to feel this safe, this free, this gently supported by something larger than yourself. You let your arms drift open, palms facing upward, inviting the kindness around you to fill the spaces within you that have gone too long without comfort. It does so immediately, tenderly, like warm water flowing into cupped hands. It fills without force, expands without demand, heals without effort. Your breath grows slower now, moving not through your chest alone, but through your entire being. Each inhale feels like drinking in light. Each exhale feels like releasing a story that no longer needs to be carried. The mist swirls around your body in graceful patterns, carrying away the last remnants of tension. You feel your mind growing quieter, your thoughts drifting farther apart, floating like small lanterns in the distance. Far above you, the sky softens into a deep, velvety blue. Stars shimmer faintly through the mist, their light gentle and soothing. They do not shine with brilliance. They glow with serenity, as though sending you tiny messages of peace. You feel their reflections within your chest, small sparks of calm flickering softly behind your ribs. Time ceases to matter here. All that exists is the sensation of floating. No effort, no striving, no uncertainty. Only ease. Only kindness, only the feeling of being held by something impossibly vast and endlessly loving. As you drift, the mist begins to glow more warmly, gathering around you in a subtle embrace. It forms a cradle of light, supporting you with even greater gentleness. You feel sleep beginning to flicker at the edges of your awareness, soft and inviting. Your eyes grow heavy. Your breath grows deeper. The world feels softer. You sense that you are being guided toward a deeper rest, a deeper stillness, a deeper peace waiting ahead. The mist begins to drift in a new direction, its movement slow and steady, carrying you toward the next place of complete surrender, the final mound of silence where your heart will rest fully in the Buddha's embrace. The night around you softens, as though the world itself has begun to exhale, releasing every last fragment of tension into the quiet air. The glow that has guided you through each step of this journey gathers more closely now, wrapping around you like a warm shawl drawn over your shoulders. It is gentle, steady, full of compassion, so deep it feels almost weightless. You stand in a space where even time seems to rest, where the only thing left is the soft invitation to let go, completely, tenderly, without fear. Your breath slows, as naturally as clouds drifting across a calm sky. Each inhale becomes lighter, each exhale longer and softer, easing you into a state of recognition. You no longer need to hold yourself up. You no longer need to think your way through anything. You no longer need to manage the pace of your mind or guide the direction of your emotions. The Buddha's presence surrounds you like warm light, gathering around a flame. Not bright, not overwhelming, just steadily holding you. You take a step, or perhaps you simply lean forward, and the ground beneath you seems to welcome the movement, supporting you with effortless steadiness. The air grows warmer, almost velvety against your skin, as though the atmosphere itself has become a blanket, draped gently over your entire being. Any lingering thoughts fade into the warmth, dissolving like small grains of salt, disappearing into a vast, tranquil sea. You notice how quiet your mind has become. Not empty, not blank, just soft. Soft the way petals fall from a flower in slow motion. Soft like the quiet that appears just before sleep, when the body sinks into the mattress and the world begins to blur at the edges. Every thought that arises is like a bubble rising through warm water, emerging gently, then popping without resistance. Nothing clings. Nothing demands your attention. Everything flows. Something within you begins to loosen, deep in your chest. It's subtle at first, like a single knot untying itself, releasing a tiny thread of tension you didn't realize you were still holding. That thread unwinds, and then another, and another. The Buddha's compassion feels like fingers of warm light, gently working through each layer, easing them open without urgency. You feel your shoulders soften, your jaw loosen, your eyelids grow a little heavier. Your heartbeat steadies into a peaceful rhythm, slow and sure. The space around you becomes even quieter. Sound fades, not into silence, but into a softness so complete it feels like the world is holding its breath with you. The air hums faintly with calm, like the gentle resonance of a singing bowl, long after the strike has faded. You feel the vibrations in your bones, soothing and slow, guiding you deeper into the kind of relaxation that can only appear when all effort has fallen away. Your body feels lighter now, weightless even, as though the earth has lifted you from the inside, supporting you from beneath rather than pulling you down. You notice the sensation spreading. Your arms feel warm and loose, your legs melt into the ground, and your breath moves like a gentle tide. You realize you are no longer actively breathing. The breath is breathing itself, moving through you without your guidance. You simply receive it, allowing it to flow as it wishes. The Buddha's presence grows closer, not as a figure, but as a field of warmth, a glowing comfort that fills the space inside your ribs, and then moves outward. It surrounds you until you can no longer tell where you end and the compassion begins. Everything blends together. The warmth, the softness, the breath, the quiet. You feel held, not by hands, but by a kind of love that expects nothing in return. Your thoughts drift further away, growing softer until they become shapes without edges, faint impressions, floating at a distance. Even the act of observing them fades, like a candle flickering at the end of its wick. There is no need to manage anything, no need to keep any part of yourself awake. You are allowed to rest fully now, completely, without hesitation. A gentle dimming begins, not darkness, but a warm, amber fading, like the last light of a lantern carried into a quiet room. You feel yourself sinking into it, supported by it, comforted by its softness. It is not an ending, but a surrender, a release, a return to the most peaceful part of yourself. The world continues to soften around you. The air becomes slow. The warmth becomes deeper. Your breath becomes almost imperceptible. The Buddha's love wraps around you like a blanket of stillness, inviting you to let the last remaining threads of effort slip away. And as the quiet deepens, you feel yourself drifting gently toward a space where thought can finally rest, where the mind can loosen completely, where sleep arrives not as a demand, but as a natural, loving embrace. You sink into that softness, letting it carry you onward, into the silent sanctuary waiting in the chapter that follows. The silence that follows feels like a soft veil settling over the world, a stillness so complete that it seems to reach into every corner of your being. The last threads of effort unwind from your body, releasing themselves one by one, drifting away like small leaves carried off by a gentle breeze. Your breath falls into a rhythm so slow and natural that you hardly notice it anymore. It is simply happening, quiet, easy, effortless. You feel yourself sinking into a deeper softness, held in a space where nothing is expected of you, nothing is required. The night surrounds you like a warm cocoon, but it is more than night. It is presence. It is compassion. It is the Buddha's quiet love unfurling around you, with the tenderness of a parent placing a blanket over a sleeping child. There is no weight to this embrace, only warmth, only stillness, only gentle reassurance. Your body responds instantly, releasing a tension you didn't realize you still carried. Your shoulders soften. Your fingertips loosen. Your mind grows lighter, softer, quieter. You feel as though you have become part of the night itself, part of its silence, part of its gentle darkness, part of its quiet hum of peace. The world dims around you, not disappearing, but resting, settling, breathing with you. Thoughts begin to dissolve like mist touched by warm morning light. They drift at the edges of your mind, faint and harmless, disappearing before they can take shape. The air around you feels warmer now, infused with the soft glow of compassion that has followed you through valleys, forests, streams, mountains, and temples. That glow gathers beside you like a presence, sitting close, steady, and unwavering. You don't see a figure. You don't need to. The feeling is enough. A sense of being held, protected, watched over with infinite patience. You are safe here, completely safe. As you settle deeper into this gentle sanctuary, your breath becomes even slower, spreading warmth through your chest and down your spine. A soft heaviness grows in your limbs, comforting and quiet. Your body knows the way to rest. It remembers what it means to surrender fully, to let go without fear. The Buddha's embrace softens the edges of your awareness, until even the idea of holding on feels distant, unnecessary. Your mind drifts like a small boat on a perfectly still lake. The water beneath it holds it effortlessly. The air around it keeps it balanced. You don't need to steer. You don't need to move. You are simply carried. The lake stretches endlessly in gentle darkness, reflecting a sky filled with soft, shimmering starlight. Each star feels like a promise that you are not alone, that peace is here, that rest is near. A deep warmth fills your chest, calm, steady, comforting, and spreads outward into your arms, your legs, your fingertips, until it reaches the very edges of your body. It feels like being wrapped in a soft blanket made of golden light, a warmth that doesn't fade or flicker. You let yourself sink into it completely. Your breath falls into a slow, peaceful drift, rising and falling like the gentle tide. The Buddha's compassion surrounds you with a presence that feels timeless, eternal, not loud, not bright, simply constant. A presence that asks nothing, holds everything, and stays with you even as your awareness begins to dissolve into the quiet folds of sleep. You feel yourself drifting, 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 as though being carried deeper into a soft cloud where nothing can disturb you. The night hums softly around you, a lullaby woven from silence and warmth. Even the air moves differently now, slower, gentler, almost still. Your heartbeat slows, becoming a soft echo in your chest, steady and calm. Thoughts no longer rise, feelings no longer stir. The world fades into a warm blur as your body relaxes fully, completely, without hesitation. You feel yourself falling, not downward, but inward, into a space of perfect ease. A space where nothing exists but breath and warmth, softness and peace. A space held gently within the Buddha's embrace. You feel weightless, unburdened, like a feather resting in a palm that will never let it fall. Your eyes grow heavy, then heavier still. The darkness behind your closed lids begins to shimmer with gentle light. Faint, warm, soothing. You drift toward it naturally, effortlessly, as though guided by the softest hand. Your awareness thins like silk, stretching into nothingness. Your breath becomes the quietest whisper of air. And then, with a final soft exhale, you slip entirely into the Buddha's loving stillness, a sleep so deep and peaceful that it feels like being held in infinite compassion. You rest there, wrapped in timeless peace, sleeping in the Buddha's embrace.